All right, y'all. All right, here we go. Going live. We are on. All right, let me know if you can hear me. Well, I'm at home today, so y'all should hear me fine. Cause okay. All right, here we go, man. We back. All right, how was everybody's weekend? We back up in here again. Talk some fights. All right, got Mr. Lee. Mr. Lee, what's going on? Yeah, man. Had a pretty good card this weekend, man. UFC Fight Night, just a regular ESPN Plus card, but it delivered. It was all around. It was all around good. It was all around good card. But we gonna focus on these WMMA fights today, like we always do. We're gonna talk about all three of these fights and just some of the craziness that went down. So yeah, we're gonna get started here in a few minutes. Let's see, we got. I'm just. I was actually in the middle of designing something on my computer, so uh, we'll get started at the. We'll get started at like the 5 minute mark. Let a few more people come in. All right, y'all, I'm back. Okay. I was just trying to figure something out on my computer, man. It's crazy. Um, let's see, we got okay, Mr. Lee said he only watched the WMMA fights. You should have watched the whole card, man. It was on point. It was on point. Well, not every single fight was, but I know the main event was solid. I mean, what did y'all think about the main event? It was good. Robert Henry, what's going on? He said having an evening coffee. I got to get my buzz in by the end of the end of the day at least. Got to get that fixed, right? Yeah, I ain't had. Did I have any coffee today? No, I ain't had no coffee today, man. Miss Lee said two beats new. Did he have a new video? I know. Okay. Let's see. Colton, what's going on? Colton said people are saying Luana fake being hurt and wanted an easy win, but I don't think she was faking. Yeah, we're gonna talk about that, man. Yeah. Yeah. Let's talk about that. We'll talk about that last. Yeah, let's save that fight. I want to get the other fights out of the way real quick. Mr. Lee, half a cup, but all it goes down the same. That good coffee drinking music. Yeah. Yeah, that was my joint. I used to use this. I used to use this track like 3 years ago, man. I just dug it out, man. I said I missed this song right here. It was one, it's one of them royalty free beats, but I felt like that was like one of the best ones, man. Some of the beats be all right, but this one here, it was like the only one that really I really feel like I like this vibe to this track here. But yeah, man. All right, let's talk some fights, y'all. We had some decent WMMA fights this weekend, man. I couldn't really call any of these fights. I just felt like they were really going to be evenly fought. I felt like all the what's going on, Marcus? I felt like all of these fights were going to be competitive, and they were. They really turned out to be 50-50 on paper. It really just came down to um, like adjustments on the fly in the fight. It really came down to whoever could adapt and who could just really execute a game plan that was on the fly, because it didn't really look like any fighter came up with like a solid game plan for any each other's style. It was just like, okay, we're gonna find out what we got to do as we go. Let's talk about the Loma Lookboonmee Sam Hughes fight. I kind of went fan favorite on this, man. I just went fan favorite. But I thought that Sam Hughes also had the style to beat Loma. Was I impressed with what Loma was able to do? Yeah, I was impressed with some of the things that Loma Lookboonmee was doing in here. I still feel like Loma is I feel like she's a very solid what's the best way to put it? She's a solid clinch fighter, but I think she's still growing. And there are some things I think that's going to hold her back from being the top level. And I don't want to call Loma Lookboonmee like one dimensional, because she's not, but I think she's a bit predictable. And I felt like Sam Hughes took a little bit of time to get started. She took a little bit of time to get started in there. And when she started a little too late. And that's whenever she was getting into a groove and she started to figure out Loma's style. Like when I was watching Loma, I was like, okay, you can expect Loma to come out with those teep kicks. You can expect her to come out throwing kicks. Like you don't really expect Loma Lookboonmee to be throwing hands with you, So your main focus is going to be, number one, find a range to stay away from those kicks. And number two, avoid the clinch. Because when you get into the clinch with Loma, she's gonna tear the body up with knees. She's gonna let go. Like as soon as she gets into a clinch, that's her game. The Thai clinch. She's a Muay Thai fighter. And tag you to the body. So when I was watching some of Loma's fights before, going into this one, it was like, okay, to beat Loma Lookboonmee, you got to fight her at a mid-range. Like if you stay on the outside, she's going to pick you apart with those kicks. She's going to keep you on the outside all day long. That's like her jab. The teep kicks, that's just like her jab. She's not really throwing hands, so the kicks are like her jab. If you go on the inside and you try to smother her, you try to get underhooks, you try to press her, she's going to tear your body up with knees. So you have to fight at a mid-range. When you fight Loma at a mid-range, you can get your jab off, you can get your right hands off, and you can smother her kicks. The mid-range is a perfect range where you can time her. And I felt like Sam Hughes started finding that timing in the second round a little too late, because Loma was already bagging points, with the knees and just the overall aggression in the second round. I mean, hands down, the first round, Loma, she won it with her kicks and the 3 or 4 takedowns she got. Very, very strong. Loma's very strong for her size. And I felt like towards the second, like I said, in the second round, towards like the end of the round, she started to lose her steam a little bit and become more predictable. And when you think about it, like when you think about some of these fighters in the upper rankings of the strawweight division, they'll be able to figure out Loma's style. They'll be able to figure that out. That's why I was like, eventually, Sam Hughes, she'll pick it up, which she did in the third round because, she started establishing a good jab, good jab and good timing. When she started backing Loma up, she was getting some good results. And if she would have started that in the first round, she could have won that fight. So there is a game plan to beat somebody like Loma, and what I saw from her, she did a good job in the fight, but it's only going to get tougher in the strawweight division. And, we factor in the size and the predictability of her style. It's going to be tough in the top 15, man. Not, a lot of people just bring up her style. A lot of people just bring up her size. They feel like she's a small fighter, which she is. She is a small fighter, but I think if she had more to her game, she could still win fights. Tisha Torres is a small fighter. Carla Esparza is a small fighter. I think if Loma had more speed and more of a hand game, I think she would be very effective. She would be very effective with that. I think Sam Hughes, she has some good tools in there. It's just a learning process though, because UFC is a different level than LFA, and I think she's gonna improve. I think these fights have definitely woken her up, and she's definitely going to improve. I think the main focus for Sam Hughes is really to get an early start in some of these fights. If she would have started a little bit early and got a little bit more confident with her jab, she probably would have got better results. Because the win was there for either fighter. That's why I said going into this one too, it was 50-50. Very close fight. I mean, what do y'all think? Loma Lookboonmee, she's about 5'1", about 5'1", and she's got the what's her reach? Her reach is like 61, 62 inch reach, and more I might match her up with some of these other fighters. I know she's on a 2-fight win streak in the strawweight division. The more and more I match her up with some of this top level fighters, though, it's really hard to see her coming away with wins, not just with size, but just as far as like game plan. I don't think Loma's offense is enough to nullify some of these, multi-dimensional fighters. Again, Loma's not one-dimensional, but she has 2 dimensions that are easy to crack, in my opinion. It's hard to take her to the ground. I will give her that. Like, she got power in her legs. The power in her legs keep her takedown defense on point. But it's really, really hard for me to see her, battling it out with even a fighter like Tisha Torres. When she did step it up to a top 15 fighter like Angela Hill, she lost that fight because Angela Hill has more dimensions. She has hands, she has footwork, she has the kicks. Loma's fights, let me see. Loma's wins, her recent wins came against, Jinh Frey, who was a former atomweight. She fought at 105 pounds, so that's not really a solid name under her belt for a strawweight. Yeah, but overall, man, I'm not sure, man. Loma Lookboonmee, man, they got to have like an atomweight division ASAP, because for some of these fighter styles, it is effective to win a belt and fight at a top level of content. Top. I could see her being a top level contender, but it would have to be in a weight class that would fit her. So I do agree with that. Like, if there was like a 105, you would see her dismantling more ladies and being able to be more effective and possibly fight to top 5 level, because we get the 115 and 105 body types, reach, when you think of fighters reach and how far out, they can extend their arms, styles will change. You know what I mean? Like 105, you'll find tinier fighters, shorter fighters, fast, quick fighters, and they'll have to have styles more so built to, for their body type. You'll see similar styles when you get down to atom weights. Straw weight, you got a mixture of fighters that could be flyweight, fighters that are just naturally 115. You get a little bit of long frame fighters, you get wide frame fighters. So it just comes down to really who's really built for that weight. And I'm just kind of glancing through Loma's fights as we talking now, just like look at some of her highlights here. And I think that Loma, if she did have more of a effective hand game and some speed, like I said, she probably could get into the top 10, but the strawweight division. But I think, yeah, she would have more success at 105. Yeah. Let's see. Sam Hughes, though. I think Sam Hughes, like I said, I would really like to see her come in with more assertiveness to her game. I know she was trying in that first round, but it took a minute to really get adjusted. And, she was eating a few of those kicks, went in there and tried to execute a clinch game and, try to go for the takedown against Loma. But if you can't take Loma down, like I said, the best thing to do is just try to find your range with the jab and, fight a stand-up fight with it. Once you take away Loma's kicks, the fight should be a little bit easier. And again, I'm just kind of looking at Angela Hill and Loma's fight here. And that's how Angela Hill had her success, But yeah, what else we got? Let's see. Hang on 1 second here. Just closing some stuff out here. Strawweight division, man, it's got good levels of fighters, all around. I mean, you're gonna get competitive fights from the 1 through 15, and then you got a lot of fighters on the unranked side that still put on good fights. That's why, like, as the older strawweights lead the game and they start to retire, you're still gonna have another crop of strawweights coming in. That's really, really gonna make some noise and some solid fighters. Let me see, what do we have? I'm just trying to find some rankings here. Like, I know we always have the top 15, but I would like to see where they would rank Loma, like a full-on top 20 here. Let's see. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, excuse me. Yeah, Sam Hughes, though, man, she had a quick start in there. Quick jump to the UFC, and jumping in there with somebody like Tisha Torres for a first fight. That's a big jump. I know she took the fight on 6-day notice whenever Angela Hill had to pull out of the fight, but jumping in there, got to be ready to go. I know that fight didn't go the way she wanted, but jumping in right back in with somebody like Loma, you gotta be ready to make that statement. And like I said, I know it's easier from the outside looking in, but when you look at a fighter like Loma, like I said, many a time I'm watching her, I'm saying, yeah, she's intense as hell. Her kicks are intense, and that can be intimidating. But once you get past the kicks, it all kind of fall into place. It'll be easier, good jabs. Just have a good jab and good right hand, and walk her down and back her up, and you can have success on that. Yeah, man. Strawweight division, it's one of the better divisions in MMA, man. All around. But let's jump over here, talk about Poliana Botelho versus Luana Carolina. Man, I kind of feel bad for well, shout out to Luana Carolina. She went in there and did what she had to do. She executed a game plan. She kind of played possum in that first round, but I kind of feel bad for Poliana Botelho, man, because here it is. Poliana has been having like cancellation after cancellation. It started with who was her first opponent? Jinu Kim. Then Myra Buena Silva was supposed to be her opponent, and then they cancel. Um, and now Luana Carolina steps in. So she's sitting here waiting for a fight. She's getting all these cancellations. Opponents stepping out for whatever reasons. But finally she gets her opponent. Finally she gets her fight, and she just came up short in this fight. Didn't exceed. Didn't get to that level she needed to be, and it's nobody's fault but hers. You can't blame nobody. You can't blame nobody when they get knocked down. You're the only person in there. You're the only person that's it's not a team sport. You're the only one that's going in there supporting whatever it is you do and executing your game plan. There is no playbook for this sport. So yeah, she's the blame. I just kind of feel bad for her because, man, like, she was having all these cancellations, and fight night comes and it just did not go her way. But Luana Carolina, man, she is a tall flyweight. Like, she's a tall, long flyweight. I really wanted to see her be more aggressive in there. I know she got the win, but I wanted to see her be more so aggressive with her front kicks and her jabs, man. Like, the girl's got to be like 5'8", 5'9", and she's got that range. Luana Carolina was doing those, little pullbacks with her neck, kind of herky jerky style, and she was just making Poliana Botelho miss. Like, after a rough first round, Poliana Botelho, she dominated the first round, but it wasn't like complete domination. Like, it wasn't like she was just like, dismantling Luana Carolina. She just outworked her a little bit, got the top position, and that was it. So all of a sudden, Luana Carolina, she turns it on in the second round, and boom, she's in it. She's in the fight. She's just weathering through both Poliana's attack, gassing her out. And that's one thing I said about Poliana. Like, she's kind of easy to gas out once you really, really start to get physical with her. I was surprised. Jillian Robertson had that success with Botelho. When you take her to the ground, when you fight her in the clinch, you can gas her out, and that's what Carolina did. She's a big, long girl. She was just putting the strength on her, and there was really no crazy moments in this fight. There was really no crazy moments in this fight, like anybody's going to get knocked out. But I just felt like Carolina, she could have turned the gas up a little bit more. Turn the gas up a little bit more and try to get her out of there. Let's take it. Hold on. Fixing something here real quick on this thing. There we go. Yeah. I felt like Luana Carolina did enough to win the fight. Definitely, she took the fight, and two rounds to one, but still a lot of questions on her side too. You got to be more so aggressive. You got to use that reach and that height to your advantage. And I think it's only going to get tougher from here in the flyweight division. Like, Luana Carolina versus Montana De La Rosa, Jillian Robertson. I think all these fights will still be competitive for her. And with Poliana Botelho coming up short in another flyweight fight, I'm starting to think that maybe she needs to be at strawweight. I'm starting to think that she really needs to be a strawweight now, because it doesn't seem like she's having the success that she felt like she would moving up to 125. Like, she would be stronger, more powerful. I haven't seen a great deal of difference here with her fighting at flyweight. I think she was more effective at strawweight. Let's see. Because now that Luana Carolina has this win, trying to see who they could match her up with now. Maybe somebody like Jillian Robertson or Courtney Casey. You know, they might give her another unranked fighter. She might fight Victoria Leonardo or something. They might put her in there with Leonardo. But yeah, I still need to see more work from both fighters though. You know, Poliana and Poliana and Luana Carolina, in my opinion. You know, I just feel like Carolina, she's got a lot going for her as far as her height and size and her ground game. You know, Poliana, she really looked helpless on her back. You know, she looked helpless on the ground. And, you know, that's how Jillian Robertson had success with her. So, you know, that's something she's gonna have to work on because, you know, flyweight division, the more fighters, the more options out there for in the flyweight division. There's a lot of ground fighters, even on that unranked level. You know, if she goes in there Montana, if she goes in there Jillian Robertson, you know, Poliana Botelho, you know, she's gonna come up short if she doesn't come up a better ground game, a better attack. But yeah, let's see. Luana Carolina, probably somebody Jillian Robertson, Victoria Leonardo might be her next opponent. Okay. But let's jump to this next fight here. Let's talk this next fight. All right. So Randa Marcos and Luana Pinheiro. Oh, hold on. I was just checking my phone. Hold on real quick. Okay. All right. So Randa Marcos and Luana Pinheiro, man. I was looking forward to this fight here. You know, I really wanted to see Randa Marcos come in here and execute. And I wanted to see her hold on for one more fight in the UFC. You know, I wanted to see her get her contract extended. You know, I wanted to see her blow out this young prospect in the strawweight division. You know, I'm a Randa fan. You know, I'm a Randa fan. There's nothing against Luana Pinheiro. I just wanted to see her because I've been following her for so long. You know, I just wanted to see her get a win. And what was looking like it was turning out to be a very competitive fight. You know, Luana Pinheiro was she was winning the round. I will say that, but what was looking like a competitive round, so some back and forth action, you know, it just had to have an ugly finish, man. It was just an ugly finish. All ended to the up kick from Randa Marcos, and Luana Pinheiro just ate the kick, and she laid back and closed her eyes, and that was it, right? I gave y'all my reaction in my video I did, but you know, I'll talk about it again. My reaction to the DQ that Mark Smith dished out, I was upset at that choice, man. I was pissed off at his option to DQ Randa Marcos. I mean, the fight was a rough and rugged fight, and there was already some fouls in the fight, you know, so when you put two fighters together, sometimes when their styles come together, it's kind of you might get that rough, rugged style where you get low blows and you might get a finger in the eye here and there, or like what happened, an illegal up kick. So you can't really just say, okay, off of one round and one occurrence from Randa Marcos calls for a DQ. So even if Luana Pinheiro couldn't continue, I think he made the wrong choice to disqualify her like that. You know, I just didn't think that was a choice. I mean, it would have been a better choice to just say, okay, if she can't continue, this is a no contest, because Randa really had no bad intentions behind it. It was just a reaction. And that's what people have to understand, like refs. Yeah, he's been in the business a long time. Mark Smith's been in the business. I'm not trying to say I know more than him, but there's a time you got to just like put common sense together and say, all right, this fighter didn't mean that. This wasn't in their character. Like there was never a point where Randa had bad intentions where she was continuously hitting behind the head, kneeing the girl in the groin. She wasn't doing any of that type of stuff. Like it wasn't her character. Like it was her instinct to do a kick in the fashion that she was doing because that's what her body was. Her limbs were free. Her opponent was making an advance at her, and that's just what fight mode calls for. Fight mode calls for these little things like that. So it's up to you to give that person a warning. I know it looked damaging, but it's up to you to give that person that warning. And if they can't go on, you have to kind of make that choice to say, did that person mean to do that? If not, we could just say, okay, that they can't continue. We'll call it off. We can't count it against that person because they didn't mean to do it. I don't know though, man. Like I said, that was my reaction to the Mark Smith part. Like, I don't agree with the DQ at all. Like, again, like Randa doesn't have this type of track record. She's been in the UFC for a minute, and she's never been a fighter to do those type of things. So one round, one occurrence. I know it appeared to be a serious occurrence, but it wasn't enough to taint that person's record. You know what I mean? Like you shouldn't put that on that person's record as a disqualification. Now let's look at Luana Pinheiro. Oh man, let's see. Let me see if I can pull up those angles. I had them on my phone here. Now I'll just pull them up on YouTube. Let's look at this stuff together. Like y'all, are y'all near y'all's computer or your phone or whatever, like y'all want to pull this thing up. Let's watch these angles, man. Cause like I was talking about this in my video earlier, and damn, like if you go to YouTube, like you type in Randa Markos, the first thing comes up: Randa Markos illegal kick, Randa Markos DQ, Randa Markos up kick, Randa Markos illegal, Randa Markos disqualified. Damn. See what I mean? When you disqualify somebody in that type of fashion, like that's what they're going to be known for, man. Like that's everything everybody was looking up now, man. Wow. All right, let me see what y'all saying in the chat while I pull up some good angles here. We're gonna watch this thing together right now. Let me go back up here. Where was I? Okay. High Five said, I don't believe the push kick would hurt Pinheiro that much. It could just be drama. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Like, I've been kicked in the face before. Like, I've been kicked in the face where she had been before, and I'm talking about by a man. And, you get kicked by the cheek, it hurts. You get kicked by the face, it hurts. But if you ever been hit in the elbow with the elbow, maybe by the neck or by the ear, that's different, man. You ever get hit by the temple? I've been hit by the temple, by the neck, and you'll see stars, and you'll nearly get clicked out. Your body will nearly click off like a light switch. But hit to the face, like right by the cheek where she was hit, I don't see it knocking you out like that. I really don't see it knocking you out like that. Especially like that reaction. Hold on, yeah, we're gonna pull this up and watch it just a second. I don't have much more to say about the Randa Markos fight. You summed it up about all my thoughts, feels. It wasn't kick to her it wasn't a kick to her forehead or jaw. It's just a push kick, right? Exactly. That's what I'm saying. Like it wasn't to the forehead. It wasn't to the jaw. I mean, we've seen what a kick to the jaw does from Rose. But yeah, like a kick to like right by your cheek, by your face. I just thought it was I thought it was just a smack with like a flat foot, just a flat foot smack. It wasn't like the heel or the ball of the foot that really like drove on her. Did a video with YouTube, took it down. I'm gonna do a video later on this situation. Okay, yeah. Maybe you got to change the title to it or something. Maybe you got to change the thumbnail or something, because sometimes they'll copyright that stuff. You gotta, change up the thumbnail or something, or don't include any footage. If Randa did it on purpose, I can see her crying about it afterwards. Randa's a dirty fighter, emotional baby, but not dirty. Yeah, she ain't dirty like that. Yeah, shouldn't have been a DQ, man. Side note, what do you think of the thought process was not mentioning their record? They didn't want to mention her record because they don't want to downplay Luana Pinheira's win when she wins. That's probably what it is. Like they don't want to mention her record because they don't want to downplay. I mean, go ahead and mention it though. Like Randa Marcos is tough. Like you see these records all the time, man. Like in MMA, like that's what MMA is about. It's about taking on the fights. I mean, you're gonna lose one day. Eventually, you're gonna lose. You don't go undefeated in MMA. So I don't know. Like that was weird. I mean, I know why they did it, but that was just kind of weird that they didn't want to say, hey, uh, coming in at 35 years of age, 5'4", 10 wins, 10 wins, 10 losses with one draw at the time. I think they was just trying not to mention that because they didn't want to downplay, they didn't want to downplay the win of Luana Pinheira. That's probably what it is. BJ, what's going on? Ernest Richard said Marcos isn't dirty. She just had a bad decision making. Yeah, she's not dirty at all. I don't know. Let me pull this up kick up. Hold on, man. All right. Turn this sound down. Let me see if we get some angles. Okay, I'm watching from the fight angle first, right? Okay, so she kicks her with her left foot. Yeah, sorry, I think I said the other way around. I meant to say that my post fight, I said it the backwards way because with her left foot, she did a push kick to the chest, and then boom, with the right foot, she caught her in the face. All right, she caught her in the face with that. Let's see. Once again, boom, she caught her in the face. And if you stop it, if you pause it, like once she ate it, it's like she was about to go on attack and like she was kind of pissed off. Like she still seemed all there. Like none of her body, no part of her body really like just shut off like Zhang Wei Li's body did against Rose. Like she ate this kick, right? And if you pause like right after the kick, she looks fine. And then she catches herself. Hold on. She kind of catches herself. Kick to the face. It looks like she wants to go in, but she knew it was a legal up kick. So she laid back, arms out, and she ain't getting up. She looking wide eye. And then she asked if she lost. I don't know, man. I don't know. I do not know, man. I don't know. Like I said, I'm not trying to. Not everybody has the same chin. Like I said, you've been kicked in the face before. I mean, Amanda Nunes, she been up kicked in the, well, not illegally up kicked, but she ate an up kick in the face before. And I don't know, like the reaction, man. Like I'm just looking, man. I'm just looking at these angles, yo. Like the fight angle, I'm looking at it. It looks like it really does look like she just took a late reaction, said, "Oh, I ate a legal kick, so time to lay back." Because she kind of eased herself down. Man. Like I said, I don't know. Everybody got a different reaction to their body. Ernest Richardson said, grappling with Dern, the short-tempered up kick. Yeah. I think she kind of played it up a little bit, man. Randy cat that out. Let's talk about that too here in a minute. We'll talk about this eye poke too, because Randa was just going through a lot too in this fight. I mean, it was very competitive, man, but I just don't like I don't like the fact that it was a DQ. High five said poked Randa's eyes, faking being knocked out. I say Pinheira can't see her outclassing Randa. Randa seemed determined to make it a slugfest, and Pinheira didn't like it. Yep. Yeah, I hope she gets another fight, man. I hope BJ she gets another fight. I agree if the fight continued, Randa would have gassed and been overwhelmed by Randa. It was competitive. I will say that. Like, it was a good fight. Like, I had Luana win in the first round. I'll give her that. She was winning the first round. We can't take that away from her. She scored like 4 takedowns. She got 4 of them judo tosses. Landed some good punches off the back foot. Randa was constantly putting pressure and landing her own right hand. And Luana also like kicked the leg out. She scored kind of a knockdown because she kicked the leg out from under Randa. So she was winning the fight. So I just don't understand that too. Like, that's why I'm on the fence, because you're winning the round. It may not be going the way you pictured it, but you're winning the round. So why would you want to take an easy way out? But it's something like I talked about in boxing too. Like, sometimes when fighters get hit, when they get when they get a nut shot, when they get hit in the balls, it don't even have to be like the hardest shot, but you want to give the ref some acknowledgement that, look, he should be penalized. You know what I mean? You get hit in the balls, maybe just like a graze on the cup, and you feel a little bit of the pain, you react to it, you wince, so the referee can give you some time. Now, if you take them serious wins to the balls that just make you drop, then yeah, of course you'll get time. But in her case, it wasn't even time she was looking for. She was just looking for, well, I ain't gonna say it again, man. I'm on the fence. It could have been looking for a way out. Could have been looking for a way out. Like I said, like, y'all want to give it to Aljamain Sterling like that. I'm just being honest on this one too, man, because this one didn't seem as intense and as hard. Like, a knee to the face hurts a lot more. Let me tell you, like, a knee to the face will hurt more than a up kick from a woman like that. Let me get this other angle, man. I'm over here playing back this fight angle over and over, but all right, hold on. Kick to the shoulder, boom, kick to the face. All right, she's still there. Up, laying back. That's weird. Up, no, I'm lay back. See, up, kick to the face. Woo, catch myself. I'm a lay back. I don't know, man. I don't know. I'm messing around, man. I ain't messing around, but you know what I mean. I'm just like, I see something there, man. I don't know. You've seen it in soccer. You see it in soccer all the time, man. Like, guys in soccer, when they get hit with the ball across the head, or they catch like a finger to the, not even a finger to the eye, but like, you might slap soccer players might slap the other guy, push the other guy, and they fall down, act like they hurt. You want to get that other person penalized. You know what I mean? And if you really want to just study this fight, as far as like what's going on mentally in here, there's like a war in there mentally, because let's say Luana Pinheiro didn't like the fact that Randa Marcos came to fight, right? She didn't like the fact that Randa Marcos came to fight. Randa was giving her a hard time, right? They exchanged jabs. Randa cracks her with a good jab. Luana Pinheiro sticks her jab out, and her fingers stick her in the eye, right? And Randa Marcos, she came right back. She came right back. She took her time. They were rushing her. She got some scarred tissue over the eyelid. Well, not scar tissue, excuse me. Her eyelid got a little, it got a little damaged. There was a little red over the eyelid, because I think she got stitches. She said on her Instagram, I think she got stitches. So she caught that finger to the eye, had some damage. She lost her vision, she said, for a bit in the fight. But what did she do whenever she was ready to go? She came right back out, ready to fight, right? And she came right at Luana Pinheiro. She came out cracking with shots, right? She came right back out trying to swing, landed some good punches, and Luana Pinheiro was in for a fight. She was in there with a fight. And I think maybe that was kind of upsetting her, that this girl is mad now that I poked her in the eye. So she tries to poke her in the eye again. Mark Smith tells her to keep the hands closed, right? And from there, it's just really like back and forth. Luana Pinheiro gets another judo hip toss. Randa's still coming. She gets her down. They scrambling. Up kick comes to the face. And Luana goes backwards. She falls right back. And my thing is like, oh, man, like, when you looking at them and just kind of studying it out, I kind of was seeing like a little bit of a grudge match going on there because Luana didn't like the fact this girl was dogging her. That could have been a question. Like, I don't think she was ready for a dog fight. You know, especially whenever you're looking at the resume of a fighter that stopped 6 people in a row. You know, Luana Pinheiro's got like what 6 finishes in a row, and this fighter was actually trying to fight back. That probably didn't sit right with her. And to get even with her, when she did an illegal move, she probably said, I'm going to get you back by not continuing to fight. And I'm going to make you lose in the most horrendous way possible that's going to damage your resume. I don't know. Am I reaching? That's what I saw. That's one theory. I won't say that's completely what I saw, but that's a theory I got right there. I mean, because I look at fights just by, mentality, energy, not just what's going on, but I'm just kind of looking at how fighters kind of react to punches or they react to eye pokes, and how fighters react to someone not laying down, because Luana Pinheiro came in here with this nice resume where she's, she has one loss, but she's considered the favorite and she's expecting the Randa to lay down, but, Randa's coming in there fighting. So in order to get Randa out of there as quick as possible, she decides that, oops, she hit me with an illegal shot. We're going to ride this thing out because it was an illegal shot and I can take it there if I want to. I got the choice to take it there. And I'm going to make Randa feel it in the worst way, not by knocking her out, but making her get disqualified. Like I said, that's just a theory I had, man. Because I've seen it before. I've seen it before. Like, damn, what was that one fighter's name? It was like it was maybe like 6 months ago. The redheaded fighter. It was men, the guy with red hair. I think it was in the middleweight division. Like, he faked a low blow to get some recovery time, and he winds up coming back and beating the other guy, and beating him by a rear naked choke or submission, like something like that. Like, it was a dirty move. Like, he didn't even it wasn't even like a real low blow, and he faked it just to kind of get recovery time. It was really a body shot. That's what it was. The dude got hit with a body shot, and he faked like he got hit low. So the referee, he gives him time, and the guy is able to come back. It should have been a body shot knockout, but I mean, he played it out to get some more time to get back into the fight, and he used it to his advantage. So yeah, man, it's there's a lot of stuff. There's a lot of stuff going on in these fights. Like, sometimes a person looking for a way out, or they're looking to get somebody back a certain way, they will kind of do stuff like this. It's a mental game as well. It's not just physical. In the mental game, boy, it can make you do some crazy things, I guess. Yeah, Robert, that's what I'm saying, man. I ain't even touching on this with these people, man. Like, I ain't even messing with that. They keep on bringing Sterling up. Like, I already said how I felt on that. That's a totally different situation. I like to need some people. Never mind. Because they shouldn't even like compare that. I'm not even going to take it there. Stamina said 3 minutes 56 of round one. Randa's on her back using kicks to keep Luana off her. It's much the same mindset approach when the strike that ended the fight happened. Simple misadjustment. DQ feels harsh to me. Yeah, it's harsh. It was harsh, man. It was pretty harsh. And like I said, there was just a lot to talk about in this one round of what was going on, just because, like I said, there's so many things going on, like so many scenarios you could kind of put into play here with a young up and coming fighter that may not be used to being tested like this. So they find a way out, or they could have really been hurt, Yeah, Rob. I can't remember that fight, man. Like, he came back and beat, he beat a dude. He beat the brother with a last he beat the brother with his last second submission in the last seconds of the next round. Yeah, because he bought some time. He bought a little bit of time with that fake low blow, and he was hurt with it. It was a legit punch to the body. All right, 2B said it's two different mentalities, but at the end of the day, the athletes are human and thus susceptible to human nature. And if flopping happens in basketball, it can happen in MMA. Yeah, I mean, yeah, basketball players, they're the worst with it though, man. We kind of expect it from basketball players and soccer players because they ain't used to physical contact with like with catching hands. You know what I mean? Like they ain't used to catching knees and hands, but like I'm expecting these fighters to say, "Come on, like continue. You ain't hurt." Thank you, Sam. Thank you, Stamina. There we go. Thank you. Thank you. I meant to do a video on that fight a while back. I might have to again, man, because I just want to bring that up. Like, yeah, I was gonna do a video on this one, man. Herman versus Rodriguez. Yeah, thank you. Mhm. All right, hold on. Let's. Yeah, she caught that eye too. I'm looking at that eye poke again. Yeah. Um, but let's say all of that aside, like, what did y'all think of Luana Pinheira's performance? Like, what y'all saw from Luana Pinheira before the upkick? Were you impressed with her? Let me ask y'all that. Answer me that. Were y'all impressed with what y'all saw from Luana Pinheira coming into the strawweight division? One of the toughest divisions out there. Like, what did y'all think of the style? What did y'all think? Well, not just the style. What did y'all think of her performance? Like, were you impressed? All right. So Colton said the judo throws are cool. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Judo throws are on point. She did throw Randa one time and Randa landed on her head, man. I was like, damn, Randa's tough, man. Can't find that one. Hold on. Here we Who's that asked me something about Diego Sanchez? I already talk about that in a minute. Hold on. I'll hold off on that one. But yeah, the judo throws were cool. I was, impressed with that. Her stand up was okay. Her stand up was okay. Something about her footwork she's still working on. I wasn't really like, okay, that was impressive, but you know, mm, okay. Let's looking at something here. Um, 2B said very aggressive, pretty effective, fun to watch. Not sure she can keep the pace for 3 or 5 rounds though. Yeah, okay. Stamina said Pinheiro has a tenacity that I like. Definitely a judoka in the octagon, yet ready to throw them squares. Technically a bit lacking, but this is true of a lot of women. I want to see more. No, she's not really. No, not really impressed. I like the power, but that won't be enough in the division unless your name is Andrade. BJ said yes, she was tossing Randa. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I agree with most everything which y'all said. Like, I think she's already coming in as a judoka with some hands, and that's definitely gonna be a plus. She's not trying to be that next Ronda Rousey. She's coming in, learning some things, and she's putting her hands to work. So, like I said, I give her that. I definitely give her that. Like, I'm not trying to knock her style at all. Like, I'm curious about the ending. But as far as what she can do in the octagon, she looked pretty impressive. She for her level. She's strong. She's very strong, and I think her ability to throw fighters like that, it will be effective to a certain level. But my question is, can she handle them dog fights? And like after seeing like Randa kind of push her in a dog fight, that's like a question. I hope that she's not like really, really damaged here. Like it, like I said, if the up kick is real and something was done, I'm hoping. I'm not wishing that on any fighter. Like I'm hoping that she's okay. I hope it didn't take away any damage from her. I hope it didn't damage her anyway. I hope she's all right. And yeah, like her footwork, like I was talking about earlier, like it's still like in a position to set up for too many throws. I like looking for throws, and what's the word I'm thinking of? Like the way she throws, like her front foot forward, or excuse me, her front foot kind of steps back. You know, still too many holes in the game there. When her stand up. So I really want to see her improve that stand up. And commit more. And ball them damn hands up. She keeps sticking the fingers out, man. Like I don't really I can't stand when fighters always stick them fingers out like that. It's like, do you want a broken finger? Like, not even like eye poke, but why are you trying to stick your finger out? You want a broken finger. Like, if your finger sticks out and it touches somebody's forehead, or they come in with their forehead and you land your fingers on their forehead, you're gonna break your finger. That's why I get sick of fighters that do that with the eye poke stuff, man. Like, close your damn hands. Dern versus Whaley. We'll see, man. We'll see. We might have to talk about that. We'll see if that's possible. I mean, if it's not a Rose rematch with Whaley, then yeah. Better showing in the contender series anyway. I didn't give a single dang about it. Nah, she's got to develop. Yeah, she's still in the raw stage. I like some of the stuff I'm seeing, but as far as like putting everything together, it's not there yet. I feel like she might be. I feel like she might really be damaged. She was dazed and confused for a long time. I never saw her recover. Apparently, her coach had to carry her out. Yeah, man. I don't know, yo. Like I said, like I have my theories on the thing. Like I don't, know for sure. Like I said, looking at what everybody else putting these videos out, like I'm gonna just say don't compare it to Aljamain Sterling. That's all I'm saying. Like his situation was different. Those are two men, and he was down and he ate a big knee to the face or temple, and it's not the same. And like I said, I was just bringing up that situation where I seen, you see fighters like they'll play up an illegal move to find that easy way out, or they'll try to do that to pay a fighter back for hitting them that way. They'll really penalize you, like they won't get up, So it's it's a theory. Eye pokes, fence grabs, groin shots, never blinking an eye, up kick or knee to a grounded opponent, heinous crime. Refs need to get theirs. I'm serious, man. Like up kick, an up kick is more so expected than a damn eye poke, man. Like eye poke and groin shots, come on. Eye poke, fence grab. Like, yeah, fence grab. You take a point from Myra Buena Silva for grabbing the fence, like she did something so heinous. You know what I mean? But like, come on. I don't know. Yeah, like up kick, man. Like this up kick. Mm, no. I mean, she jammed that finger in the girl's eye too, because I want to look at her Instagram too, Randa. Like, let's talk a little bit about Randa, what she said. Hold on. Hold on. Let me look at Randa's Instagram here. Dern smokes Zhang. Excuse me, Zong. During Smoke Zong. Oh boy. I don't know, man. I do not know. We're gonna have to look at it though. We'll talk about it. Oh yeah, the PFL will be back Thursday, y'all. PFL is back Thursday. Before I go to, man, we're gonna talk about Bellator's card too, man. Before I go, we're gonna talk about Bellator's card. Bellator got a card, a fully stacked card this Friday, and not a single woman, not a single WMMA fight, not a single woman fighting on that card. All right, so Randa said this on Instagram. Oh wow, I didn't read all of that. Did y'all read all of it? I didn't read all of this, man. Like, man, because I clicked on it while I was driving today, and I read part of it. Then after that, I didn't read. I didn't hit the read more part. Hold on. All right, y'all. Randa Marcos. This is what she said. Let's see. Okay, there we go. All right, Randa Marcos. I've been in the fight game for a while now. I've never intentionally thrown a illegal blow. It's a fight. Ish is bound to happen. I took 3 eye pokes requiring stitches and loss of vision. All right, so yeah, she did have to get stitches, y'all. She did have to get stitches. I mean, I could see the red over her eye, like right by the eyelid. Like I think the eyelid got tore. You know. All right, so I took 3 eye pokes and never thought for a second that I wasn't going to continue. I had such a good training camp, you know, with the people. Let's see, Travis Lauder, Power Train, Adams Justin in Texas, and was ready to showcase my skills for the greatest fight promotion in the world. Yes, my foot grazed her, but that my opponent's inability to continue seemed a little bit oversold and suspect. All right. So she said, my foot grazed her, but my opponent's inability to continue seemed a little bit oversold and suspect. I let her know. I let her know after the eye poke that I wasn't leaving that cage without a win, and she stole that from me. Yeah, she did. She did, man. When she caught that eye poke, man, when she caught the eye poke, she was ready to come back. She was mad. All right. I'm excited about whatever is next. I have a tone of heart in me that needs to be let out. Thank you, everyone that helped me with this camp. Love y'all, and I'll be back soon. Hashtag UFC, hashtag Quiet Storm, hashtag MMA, hashtag Easy Way Out, hashtag Little B. Damn, she topped it off with some harshness, boy. Hashtag Easy Way Out, hashtag Little B. Wow. Yeah, she ain't feeling it. She is not feeling it. Well, maybe my theory comes, you know, she's in there, so she can tell. She can tell. Like, I think after the eye poking, when she came at her full force, she knew that she was in for a hard fight. And then, as soon as she ate that kick with the up, you know, the illegal up kick, she was like looking for a way out, man. They got people commenting too, boy. What is it? One girl's fight? What is this one girl fighter? Killer B. You know, from one, she was like, "What the f?" Yeah, she was like, "What the f?" Uh, Jose Jose Cotton. She said a little bit. Jose Cotton. She responded to that. She's getting a little bit of a mixed review here. Some people don't like what she's saying, but some people do believe it. Some people do believe that she was overacting. I mean, there's got to be something to it, though, man. There got to be something to it. Uh. Yeah, Colton loss of vision, man. Mm. Somebody says she takes the L for acting. I think yeah. I mean, there's a time, man. There's a time that I think everybody can pretty much believe what their eyes see. It's definitely a time we can all kind of believe what our eyes see. And when we look at something really deep and just say, this doesn't look like what it seems to be. And to me, like I said, I don't want to cheat my own mind and make myself look like I'm crazy, but this is what I think I saw. You know what I mean? Like, that's what I think I see. Like, I think I see somebody that wants the easy way out, or they're looking for a way to get back at the other fighter by making them get a DQ. That's what I believe. Like I said, the more and more I just kind of play this back right now on my computer, I'm just sitting here playing this thing back. I'm like, I don't see that much pain coming from an up kick, man. Especially in the position where it landed. It wasn't, it just wasn't there. I don't see the intensity or the power there. I just saw her eat a shot, and then I saw her start to come forward, but then she said, "Oh, that was illegal. I'm gonna lay back," and the arms just kind of flattened out. That's what I saw. I mean, every time I seen somebody get kicked in the face with like a real kick, you see them go out, man. Like, and it's usually by the chin or it's by the neck. Like I seen them up kicks, when you hit somebody on the chin and they just fall down. Like somebody caught one on fight night too on Saturday, I think. Like, who was it? Like somebody caught an up kick and they like damn near went out on top of the guy, but he recovered. I can't remember which fight it was again. Damn. Yeah, this dude, he got kicked. It was like an up kick, and he about fell out on the guy, but he he came back. But that was a real kick. Damn, I forgot that fight again. What is it? Herman versus Rodriguez. Yeah, I'm gonna keep that fight. I'm gonna watch that again. Um. Oh, thanks. I got a new subscriber there, Joshua H. Thanks for subscribing. If you're listening right now. Um. Let's see. Put Randa Marcos against Hannah Cyphers or something. Yeah, yeah, that would be all right. Let's see. Lolita said, "Oh, hold on. Let me go back up here." Lolita says Randa going to be cut. I don't think she's going to be cut. Not yet. But we don't know. Like with her ending on a DQ like that, they might try to get rid of her. I don't know. Robert Hicks, I tell you what, whoever fights Randa next, wherever they fight, better watch out. Randa's extra dangerous when she, yeah, yeah. Don't let that be. Don't let that be Kay Hansen or somebody up in there, or Corey McKenna. Yeah, I was liking the fight. I was liking the intensity of what they were bringing, man. I was liking the direction it was going. Like their style was really putting on a show. Randa throwing good jabs. Randa getting tossed up. Randa getting tossed on the head. I was like, damn, like this girl is throwing her, man. That's what I was saying. Like I was impressed with the work, and I had Luann to win in the fight, man. There was no need to. There was no need to do that. Yeah, I would definitely watch Randy versus Hannah Cypress. Watch how fast Whaley was able to get up, walk on her own, and protest the stoppage within 30 seconds after getting knocked out. Yeah, but yeah, and she was legit knocked out too, man. Like her light switch went off and she was out. Randa won't be cut. Dana loves Randa. I don't know if he loves Randa. I don't think he loves her because they continue to not give her fights that she's won. They keep her around, but they kind of giving them ultimatums too. Like if you don't take this fight, we'll cut you. That's kind of happened in the past with Randa. Like I don't think it's that they love Randa. Like they like to put her in there on short notice fights. Is that like journeyman? All right, it'd be pretty easy to cut her. It'd be really, it'd be pretty easy to cut her up if you only look at the numbers. 115 is so low that they can lose her pretty easily. Unfortunately, I was rooting for Randa that night. Yeah, shoot, they could cut Joanna and the division would still be thriving. You know, that's how good the division is right now, right? Yeah, you could cut Joanna right now and we'd be good. You could cut Claudia Gadelia and Joanna at the same time, and we still have a good strawweight division. Not saying I'd want Joanna to be cut yet, because there's some good fights for her besides the title shot. But Luana couldn't walk out. No, she couldn't. Yeah, she couldn't. And again, that knockout wasn't anywhere near as bad as what Wei Lee got. Mm-mm-mm. Yeah, those were good head tosses, man. She threw it at one time. She landed on her head. I was like, yo, yeah, she's strong. Well, let's go ahead and put Loma Lookboonmee and let's go ahead and match Loma up in Luana now. You know, you got her first UFC win. Let's go ahead and put her in there with that type of fighter. Let's see what happens. Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's what I said. We could keep on going, man. We could just keep on going, man. If she ain't here, if she ain't fighting, we're still getting some fights. I mean, what do we got this week coming up? We got Amanda Ebos and Angela Hill. Um, yeah, we got Amanda Ebos, Angela Hill. We got, I know it's at 125, but we got Rodriguez and Waterson. I like the fight though, man. I don't care what Robert Henry say or anybody. I call Robert Henry out on that because he don't like either one. I like Rodriguez Waterson fight. I think it's gonna be a good fight. I don't like the way this happened in that, but I like the fight. Oh man, yeah, let's put Amanda Ebos in there with Luana Pinheiro, man. That would be good. Amanda Lemos and Pinheiro, that would be a good fight. I need to go back and study some more Amanda Lemos. I like her style, man. Randa's tough as nails. Most girls get tossed like that going to sleep. Yeah. When she landed on her head, boy, she got up. She got up. Oh wow, Mark. Man, Marcus got jokes, man. The new and improved Afro's on. Oh boy. It is starting to kind of look like that, right? Like when it was first cut, I thought it was a buzz cut, but it's more of like a little afro, right? It's like a little afro, right? I might do a video talking about fighters when they change their look. Does changing the look really help? You see some fighters shave their heads, some fighters get tattoos, they come back all tatted up and they come back with this whole new look. Like we got to kind of study the fighter that does that. Like, did it really give them some extra? Did it give them a little extra fuel or not? Will a haircut or tattoos change a fighter? That's a question for y'all. Yeah, let me do a video on that. Like, I gotta go back and look at some fighters who did that. Let me go back to this comment section. Hold on here. Luana versus BBB would be a wild first round knockout. Yeah. BJ said, "Why y'all hate Luana so much? She is the strawweight goat." I don't think it's hate, BJ. It's just like reality. Like I don't hate her. Like I don't hate anybody. You know. Yeah, I don't hate Joanna. Like I don't like what she's doing right now. Like I give her credit all day long for what she's done in the past, but the past is the past. Like when you try to downplay what's ahead of you, You try to downplay and you try to step ahead of somebody in line. Like, you try to cut me in line, I'm not gonna like that. You know, it's not about hating, man. Like, I don't like the fact that you want to try to take the title shot from Carla and John John. You know, you can't take the title shot from them after over 365 days away from the octagon. You know, yeah, she's definitely one of the, if not the most impressive strawweight champion in the UFC, because yeah, she did have the belt for a long time for 5 title defenses, but that's got an expiration date. There's an expiration date on that, man. And like, I'm not giving you a title shot. Like, if I was Dana White, I'd be like, where you been for a year? Man, you want a title shot after a year off? No. You're like, no way, man. That's why I said I had somebody the other day, you know, Robert Henry, know somebody trying to, how you gonna call me it? I had somebody call me an idiot because I said Joanna doesn't deserve a title shot. I mean, it's not even the fact you call me an idiot, but you can't even make the argument. That's why I just kind of laugh at it, because you can't give any other evidence except call me an idiot. You know, like, your reaction is calling me a, your rebuttal to what I say is calling me an idiot. You know, that's what I'm like, okay. Like, how you call me an idiot, man? And like, you just call me an idiot. I'm like, and you ain't got nothing to back it up. Yeah, Lemos Pinheiro, I like that fight. All right, let's see. She did dye her hair blonde, right? She dyed that Afro blonde, I think, right? Marcus, did she dye that? She dyed the Afro blonde. To be sick, great video idea. Yeah, I'm gonna try to work on that thing, man. I'm gonna try to see what I can do on that. Robert Henry said, "Why you love JJ so much, BJ?" I don't want her at 115 anyway, so she can't really get out. There's nothing for her to do here. You hear that, BJ? Now that's, I'm not hating, but you hear them, right? BJ, she cute and she overrated. Who is? Oh man, Brown and Van Buren, Mr. Lee, Brown and Van Buren. Brown and Van Buren versus Luana Pinheiro would be good too. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, BJ. I think BJ talking to y'all because yeah, I'm not talking about her looks. I ain't talking about anybody looks when it comes to fighting. Really, BJ loves him some. Oh wow. Let me stop here, man. I'm not talking about looks. Okay, Stammer said Joanna is acting like what she's done is greater value than what people are doing. Right. This is what we talk about. We ain't talking about who's attractive and looking and all that. I want results and I want action. That ain't right. There's a whole division full of talented women. All their efforts. Yeah. Yeah. All your efforts matter, man. That's what I'm saying, man. Like, you ain't standing on nothing. Like, I don't care what you look like. Like, you ain't getting no title shot from me if you've been out for a year. Colton said, "Do you think the 125-pound champ at Bellator can do well in the UFC?" Juliana Velasquez. Oh yeah, yeah. I think so, Colton. Yeah, she could do well. She could do well. I don't know if she could. She can't beat the champion. I don't think she could beat the champion, but I think she could do well. Like, I could see Juliana Velasquez beating some of the top 10. What do y'all think? Like, I think, yeah, she could beat some of the top 10. Yeah, she definitely could. Yeah, put Juliana Velasquez in there. I think she beats Caitlin Chikagan. I think she beats Viviana Arujo would be a tough fight. I think she beats Roxanne. Jennifer Maia would be tough though. Now we talking deep water. Now we talking tough fights here. Juliana Velasquez versus Jennifer Maia would be tough. Um, who else is in that top 10 right now? Damn. Alexa Grasso would be a tough fight though. I think she could do it though. I think she could. I think she could. Andrade. I think Juliana Velasquez could beat Andrade. Yeah. I think she could. I mean, I'm ready for y'all to disagree with me on that. But yeah, Juliana Velasquez, she could beat Jessica Andrade. Here they come. Yeah, man, this dude calling me an idiot. I was like, yeah, man, what this guy call? What are you talking about? Yeah, okay, BJ. Yeah, I know Rob Henry brought up the looks. Yeah, somebody brought up the looks. I ain't bringing it up. I don't care about that. Alima will do better than Juliana. Alima Lay McFarland would do better than Juliana. Who could Alima Lay McFarland beat in the top 10, the UFC's top 10 flyweight? I don't see Alima. I'm gonna say right, yeah, I don't see Alima Lay beating Jessica Andrade. That's a tough. No, I don't see her beating it. No, I don't think so. I don't see Alima Lay beating Jessica Andrade. I don't see her beating Caitlin Chikagan either. I don't see her beating Jennifer Maia either. No, I don't. Oh yeah, real quick, man. Let's talk real quick, man. Like, yeah, we got a card coming up, man. We got a Bellator card coming up, and like, what are y'all thoughts, man? Like, we don't have any women's fights on this card, Bellator 258. Like, this is why they don't. This is why the women don't really advance, because look at this. Look, Bellator 258, Friday, May 7th, right? The Anthony Johnson fight. Yoel Romero, he didn't get medically cleared, so he's out. But aside from that, look at this card, man. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. We got 12 fights on here. Look, man, we got 12 fights on the Bellator 258 card, but we don't have any women fight. Like, y'all got a full roster over here of women that want to fight, that haven't been fighting, and you can't even squeeze in at least one or two women's fights. That's why a lot of these ladies don't stay active. Like, the flyweight division is just, it's got great talent, but you just don't have these fighters fighting enough. They're not active enough. What's going to happen here, man? Like, I mean, what do they need to do, Mr. Lee? Make like Bella, like Mr. Lee said, they need to start their own league. Like, I mean, yeah, we already have Invicta FC, but I mean, yeah, if you want to start like your own like league where you put the best fighting the best, like, Alima Lay, excuse me, not Alima Lay, but like Juliana Velasquez needs to be having a title defense coming up soon. Denise Killholtz needs to fight soon. Like, what's the deal? Like, you don't have a single women's fight on this card. Like, I don't think that's fair. Like, you have enough women to put on these cards and mix and sprinkle it in. A lot. I don't know about that. You said they put a lot of women's fights when they came back. They just came back in April. I didn't, not compared to the UFC. I mean, they got a lot of women too, but I didn't get a lot of women's fights on there. Like, they've already put on how many cards without women? This is like the second, right? I don't know about that. What do y'all think? They didn't put a lot of women's fights to me because I didn't see too many flyweight fights going on. You know, they got a full crop of flyweights. I mean, they got a good featherweight fight coming up in June. But they're not really like putting it out every single card. They're not, in my opinion. They haven't put out a lot. I mean, how many shows have we had now since April? They came back in April, right? How many cards did we had in April, and how many had women's fights on it? Let me see. UFC 256 was their first show, right? Yeah, April 9th. 256 came back. Okay, so UFC 256 had what? One, Liz Carmouche and Vanessa Porto. Kat Zingano, Liv Parker. That's 2 fights. Three, 4. Okay. Bellator 2. Okay. Let's see. So we have 4. Hang on, y'all. I'm just counting. I'm counting how many fights we had. How many women's fights we had. 5. 6. Okay, we had about 6. That's not a lot. We had about 6. 6 ain't a lot. I mean, we compare it to the UFC. I mean, Icon Federation and Combate, they put on a whole women's card. I feel like Bellator has enough women to put on a whole women's card. You know, they're putting on like 4 on a card. You know, so their LFA's got more. You know, LFA's definitely had more women fights. I mean, Bellator has enough to catch up with them. You know, Bellator has enough to catch up. So you're not really. I don't feel like they're putting out enough because they're not getting. You know, some of these women you haven't seen in like a year. Some of them are ready to come back too. I thought they put on a few. They ain't put on enough. Yeah, 6. You know, 6. It's not a lot because you got to think too. Like I said, it wasn't even like some big fights. Like they haven't even like brought back any big flyweight fights. Like nobody in top 5 is coming back. You know, Alima Lay McFarland's fight ain't back. You know, Denise Killholz ain't back. Yeah, Laura came back. I think, did I count her fight? That might make 6 or 7. Yeah, I think I did count her 6. Yeah, I don't know, man. Like it's not enough to me. We'll see what else is in that card in June that's coming up. Robert said, I don't see her beating most flyweights. She seems like she could easily lose to almost those girls. BJ said Cat versus Leah was in. Yeah, I would have had Cat Zingano and Julia Budd. That fight made sense. Kick the year off with that, man. That would have made more sense. Cat versus Budd. Yeah, that's what I was that's what I was going I was gonna mention earlier. I said when I was looking at this card, I was like, that's how they needed to open up Bellator. You know, we needed that strong featherweight fights. But yeah, that's what I just kind of feel like Bellator they need to do. Need at least 1 or 2 women fights on every card. On every card. Okay. Did Oh yeah, Colton was talking Diego Sanchez. What happened with Diego Sanchez? Let me pull it up. Let's see. Diego Sanchez questions UFC's reaction to medical records request. I'm never gonna get ish. What happened? Let's see. Diego Sanchez is concerned he was trying to make things easier on his future self by asking the UFC for his medical records. Sanchez was pulled from his May 8th fight against Cowboy, and wow, and he was released from the UFC. Sanchez fight with Cowboy is expected to be his farewell from the promotion. Um, Wait a minute. Instead, his unceremonious exit came from Sanchez's manager. He reached out to UFC's medical team, requesting the fighter's records throughout his 16-year history with the promotion. That set off alarm bells from the UFC. Hunter Campbell reached out to Sanchez and Fabia to clarify what was going on. Sanchez said he received a text from UFC matchmaker underscoring the importance of replying to Campbell. It was a message saying Diego need to check your email because Hunter sent you an email and it's extremely important that you read this email and respond to this email by tomorrow or the fight is going to be canceled. Oh, okay. Hold on. Here it is. Here's the big part, y'all. Hold on. Diego Sanchez said, okay. UFC wanted me to state that I am not experiencing any neurological issues and that I have no long-term health side effects from fighting a career of 16 years. My advisors told me basically what they're trying to do is right before you finish your last fight, they're trying to make sure that they have documentation of what you're saying, that you never sustained anything. Wow. So basically you're being forced, being bullied into waiving your medical rights. Wow. Possible medical liabilities. With that being said, the email was sent to Hunter and the response was very fast. The letter said that they have chosen to pay me 100% for the fight, show money, win money, and sponsorship money. Wow. So they try to pay him off, huh? Yeah, Colton. That's the first I was, I didn't really hear into that, So it's the first time I'm really reading that. Like, so they won't give him his medical records because they don't want him to show any signs of any brain damage throughout his 16-year career. Wow. So they just paid him everything he was owed, and they said you can go, huh? Dang. Yeah, it seemed that way, man. I don't know, man. I'm just looking through this stuff. Yeah. Yeah, that was my question. Like somebody said, like, did he ever get his medical records? And like they want to know if you're like entitled to them. I would think you are, but I'm reading this one comment. Yeah, somebody said something about his manager too. They said he was just trying to set up a way to get more money or something. He was trying to prepare to sue the UFC because he knew that Diego Sanchez's ride was about over. So he was just trying to get as much money as possible. Wow. That's what some people think. And I mean, managers, man, you gotta watch them. You gotta watch these managers, man. Well, yeah, he's out. Who else got cut recently from the UFC? Justine Keach did, right? Justine Keach got cut. Did she get cut, y'all? What happened? Did Justine Keach get cut? Somebody tell me. I thought I saw that somewhere. Yeah. She did. She did. Never mind. She did. Yeah, she's been removed from the UFC rankings. indicating that they'd been cut. Okay, yeah. Justine Keys is gone. Yeah. I didn't even know she was in the rankings. You know what I mean? Like I thought she was unranked anyway. Yeah, and Teron Woodley. Yeah. Oh, Robert said steak and cheese with fries. Dang, that sound good, man. Steak and cheese with fries for me tonight. He said that's a recovery food. Um, what about me? I don't know, man. I ain't got nothing. I ain't got nothing cooking today, man. I was just chilling in and running some errands for a minute. Then after that, it was raining out here too, so I don't know. I mean, that sound good though. Robert Henry said he got to bring it back. That's that celebratory food. What? Come on back to the game. Justin Keach was removed from the fan rankings. Got you. Yeah. Yeah. Oh man. But let's see. Before I go, what else? Healer of the mind, body coach. What's going on, man? That focus ball is something, man. It is a piece of work. Let's see. What else before I go? I mean, I'm gonna get back on here tomorrow. I'm gonna get back on tomorrow because I got some time. So we got to talk some more stuff going on. Like tomorrow, we'll talk about. Yeah, tomorrow we'll talk Marina Rodriguez and the Waterson fight. Cole said, "Do you think JJ could do bare knuckle boxing and cash in?" That's a good question. I got a show. We're gonna talk about that because we got a lot of ladies going over to bare knuckle boxing. You know, we got Pearl Gonzalez is going over, Rachel is going over, and there's another young lady that just went over too. Man, I want to talk about that, man. You know, I want to talk about bare knuckle boxing and how it can be how a lot of women are going to it. I think Joanna would have success over there. Yeah, I think Joanna would have success if she went over there. Yeah, I think it's gonna be a good fight, man. But yeah, it is a bad idea for them to fight at 125. Yeah, I thought Michelle Waters was going. She wanted to try to make the weight, but she said they'll go with it. Yeah, it's not a good idea. I think it'd be more effective for Waters for Rodriguez because he's got the length and it'll be. I think it'll be more so you'll see the results more pleasing for her. Robert said, "I'm not coming off the bench no more with this eating." Here's an interesting fact about when Carla fights Yan, and that she can deal with the rapid punching coming from Yan. Hmm, that's gonna be a good. It's gonna be a good matchup. Boy. It's gonna be a good matchup. Carla and Yan. That's the fight I'm looking forward to, man. We got to break that one down. Ebos and Hill, I'm looking forward to as well. That's gonna be a good fight. Yeah. They haven't, but yeah, when I looked on some of these websites like Tapology and ShareDog and stuff, they have it as the main event. So I guess they're gonna rock it. They're gonna rock it. Marina has some issues going on making that fight happen. JJ could do bare knuckle, but she makes plenty of outside money from. Yeah, yeah, I don't. Yeah, she definitely wouldn't like when you think of what she makes outside of UFC. Like, and bringing up what Marcus said, like, what did he? Yeah, that one link he posted, Marcus Bell posted that Paige only got 5,000 pay per views. Against Britain Hart, her fight only sold 5,000 pay per views. Joanna's not gonna go that route. I mean, there's a lot of women in the MMA world can because they're not making money like Joanna. Joanna's got the book and everything and so much other stuff going on. Like, yeah, she would never go to bare knuckle boxing because she's already talking about how she doesn't like to, she's getting tired of punishing her body and she's trying to fight as less as possible now. So, Joanna's looking more for cash out, and I think that's where her title opportunity is all about at this point. Like, even if Joanna won the title now or got that title shot, it's all about cash out for her. So yeah, bare knuckle boxing wouldn't be something she would go to. Fighters like Paige, they'll go there, even though they have this other following, but that's the only route that Paige can really go to as far as fighting on a high level. Like, Paige couldn't go to, first off, she got cut from the UFC. Paige can't go to Bellator and compete on that level anymore. She doesn't want to step down to those lower levels like LFA anymore because there's no money in that. She's not going to an Invicta. Bare knuckle boxing is investing in Paige a lot more so off of her look than what she can actually do in the ring. So with Paige, it's a win-win for her. They're paying her boatloads of money, but it's not really paying off now. I mean, we'll see. We'll see. Yeah, Marcus Bell be calling it dollars, man. Yeah, 5,000 pay per views. You know, um, 5,000 pay per views at what $40 a pop. That's not a lot of money, but it's more than an income tax check, man. It's more than an income tax check. I just think it's funny he's be saying that, but yeah, it's more than income tax check. Yeah, I mean, in boxing, whenever a pay per view gets like 100,000 or 95,000 pay per views, that's considered a failure. But 5,000 pay per views, that's below. I bought it, so I'm one of the 5,000 that bought it. Yeah, they haven't filled out the UFC card yet, Mr. Lee. They haven't. Like, if you go to Tapology, you'll see the list of fighters. Like, they got it listed already, but they haven't posted up anywhere else. Uh, yeah, let's pull it up here real quick. Let's pull that card up. Uh, Saturday. Yeah, not man. If it was $5,000, nah, like she got a big chunk of money, just to sign on and come over. She got paid more than Britain Hart, in her very first fight, which she lost. All right, so let's see. UFC Vegas 26. We got Rodriguez at Waterson is the main event at 125, and then Ben Rothwell versus Felipe Lins. Then we got Ebos versus Hill at 115. Those are the only women's fights on the card. Those were good fights though. Just wish that was at 115 though. Yeah, man. Okay. Yeah, let's see. But what else, man? Yeah, tomorrow I'll be back on. We'll talk about Waterson versus Rodriguez. This being Rodriguez first fight at 125, and this will be Waterson her second main event. So we'll talk about that tomorrow. And Ebos versus Hill. We'll see what Ebos can do. We'll see if she can bounce back. Oh yeah, and PFL. That's what I was gonna say. Yeah, PFL comes back Thursday, y'all. Yeah. Caitlin Young versus Cindy Danbois. Oh, that's gonna be a good fight, man. That's gonna be a good fight coming up. Let me pull this event page up again, man. What's the day? May 6th is Thursday. Okay. Got yeah, that's what I'm talking about. See, we got all these lightweight fights. So PFL, let's see. Colin Sink versus Gardado. Then you got Fabian versus Sanchez. Dandois versus Young. Pacheco versus Pajic. I wonder if that's a tattoo, man. She got some like scars. Might just be those probably real scars on her. Pajic. Then you got Kayla Harrison versus Moraes. Yeah, I'm ready for this, man. This came right around the corner. Yeah, man. PFL. Yep, PFL be back, man. I almost forgot about it. I was like, oh, this week. I saw Caitlin Young posted up, and I was like, yeah, it's right here. That money though, that money she got. Wait, could have maybe. No, she has a site. She has a site like OnlyFans. Robert, it makes a lot of money too. Like she's got her own site. Like if you go to her page, she advertises. It's like her own fan site. It's like the same thing as OnlyFans, but if you go to her Instagram, she has something like OnlyFans. So she's making something off of that. Yeah, yeah, like yeah, don't yeah, she's got it. She's got it. Like it's basically OnlyFans. She does have an OnlyFans, but it's her own fan site. Like she's not using their platform, but it's like pagevanzant.com or something. It's the same thing. It's the same thing. That's all I gotta say. And she's making bank off of it. Probably making more so, I guess, because it's not in a deal with OnlyFans, which is smart on her part. Oh yeah, you can go there. Yeah. I mean, what you get on Instagram, you could get over there too. I guess. I mean, I'm looking. She's advertising it, so yeah. I mean, go check it out. But yeah, what she got what she got from BKB was pretty good though. Yeah, what she got from them to sign on was pretty good. Let's see what we got here. Let's pull that thing up. Yeah, Page be wilding out though, man. Uh, Cole said, "Do you think Nina Ansaroff is done as a fighter and focus on family?" No, I don't think she's done yet. I think she'll be back. She'll be back at 125. Yeah, she'll be back. She'll be back at 125. I think she'll take her chances at 125. I mean, maybe like 2 or 3 fights in, if things don't look good, she might be done, but she's not done yet. She'll be back. He said Pearl Gonzalez. Yeah, man. Pearl got a fan base, boy. let's see. Yeah, it's called. Yeah, it's just pagevanzant.com. It's basically like OnlyFans, but like I said, she just did it her own way by putting out her own site. And she gets a lot of followers from it. Like instead of training now, she spends more days doing photo shoots every day, for that site. I mean, yeah, there's a lot of money in that for her. She spends days, doing photo shoots all day and doing, things whatever her fans ask, request from her. And they just they get they get their request put in and she do it, man. Marcus is gonna be on OnlyFans page. Yeah, man. Yeah, that's what I was saying. Like, if Paige goes that road, I mean, that's a wise choice for her. There's less pain and less damage in it. It's crazy because she teeters between, two jobs that just don't click together. Model and bare knuckle boxing. Modeling and bare knuckle boxing. You never would think that would work. Mm. But yeah, let's see. Let's see. Just covering some things we got going on in WMMA. I didn't even no, I didn't even get a chance to watch that Combate card because it was so late. I got to go back and watch that. It was all women's fight card too. We had this Friday. Yeah, I saw that. Stamina. Yeah, Pearl's trained with Amanda Serrano. Yep. Yeah. She's got another fight coming up for Icon, and Amanda Serrano's also looking to get that fight with Katie Taylor. So it's looking interesting. We'll see where this is gonna go. There's a lot of roads there. Yeah, Katie Taylor's fight Saturday didn't turn out to be like a big barn burner. She just outclassed what's her name, Tasha again. That just doesn't have the competition right now unless Amanda Serrano they can get that fight happen, make that fight happen. Yeah, that would be a big win. That'd be like the biggest fight for women's boxing. One of them. Okay. I know what we'll talk about tomorrow, man. I mean, what do y'all think now about that fight? Mackenzie Dern versus Zhang Wei Li. I know BJ was saying Dern was gonna smoke her, but I don't know, man. I don't know about that. Yeah, man, she switched up the look. I think she's got a blondish look to it now. Yeah, let's see. Yeah, there you go. He's back. Dern by finish. That's what he said. I don't know, man. I do not know. Dern by finish. I don't know. That's tough to say. Yeah. If it went to the ground, well, yeah, pretty. We could see that, and it all depends on what Zhang looks like, man. Like if Zhang is gun shy Is she back? We'll see. Yeah, Afro Zong, boy. He's Afro Zong. It is puffing out. I just went to her Instagram. I saw that. That's the pit. Yeah, I saw it earlier, man. I saw it. I was like, yeah, that's a little afro, man. Robert said, can we skip the BJ's topic? It's an interesting fight. I'd rather see I'd rather see Zhang versus Mackenzie Dern before we see Joanna and Mackenzie Dern because I just don't like that style matchup for Mackenzie Dern yet. Yeah, I hope she's not gun shy. I hope she don't come back gun shy. That would be a good. That would be a crazy announcement, though, man. Yeah, stamina. I just saw that. Yeah, yeah. Like, why would you not sign a Man Serrano? Like, Man Serrano's already got like a few fights under her belt, but you would sign Daniel Wolf. I don't get that. Even Heather Hardy got the Bellator, so I don't know. J Ball said, "Let's do Joanna versus Mackenzie." Nah, I can't do that, man. I'm not even like a diehard Mackenzie fan. I just don't want to see her go in there and get, completely outworked and just beat to the punch for 3 rounds. I don't think Mackenzie's got that type of level of striking to deal with Joanna yet. I don't think she'll be able to take her to the ground either, or take her down and keep her there. I could see the UFC doing something like Wei Lee versus Mackenzie though, man. Like, watch them do that in like August or something. Watch August or September. Like, if they don't give Wei Lee a rematch with Rose right away, watch them put this fight on in the fall, maybe like another 4 or 5 months. Watch them do Mackenzie versus Wei Lee. I don't really think there's any rush for Wei Lee to go right back into a Rose. You know what I mean? Like, there's no need to. Don't don't push it if you're not really ready. I mean, let's say off of the mistake that she made, does she still have enough to beat Rose? I think she does though. Like, when you look at it in that manner, like, there's so many ways to look at it. Like, she may have got caught with a big shot, but like, could does she? Was it a mistake? Like, it's not a lucky shot. Was it like that big a mistake where we have to say Wei Lee has to go all the way back to the drawing board? Like, was it that type of mistake? I think that's another video we have to talk about. Was Wei Lee's mistake that big enough to say she has to go back to the drawing board? I guess it could have been, because that could have happened somewhere in 5 rounds, right? Except it happened in the first. All right, hold on. What are y'all talking about? Mackenzie versus Zhang is intriguing, but yeah, that's why it's intriguing, because it's engaging the clinch. Yeah. BJ said, I think Dern can take JJ down. It, it's keeping her down. You need a top game like Robertson to keep JJ. No, man. No way. Like, first of all, Mackenzie Dern probably could get her down for maybe like 2 seconds, but JJ gonna pop right back up. And even then, I don't think she has that full on strength to keep JJ down. Like, if she tries to get JJ in any position, like, going for a double leg, she's gonna hop for the fence, or she's got great balance on one leg. I don't think Dern is that strong to get her down. Definitely not to keep her down. I don't even think Jillian Robertson got a top game to keep JJ down. because Jillian Robertson's not going to get past the JJ jab. No way, man. Like, no, she ain't. I don't. Jillian ain't got a top game. She ain't got a top game to keep JJ down. Because even Valentina didn't have that great success on keeping her fully down. She had her down, but not like this dominant position the whole time. Because she's always scrambling and moving. J Ball said, imagine thinking anybody in MMA has a better ground game than McKenzie. Imagine thinking anybody. Who has it? Let's see. Some fighters with some almost. Verna Gendaroba is almost as good of a ground fighter as Mackenzie Dern. Yeah, Verna Gendaroba is. Carla Esparza has a good ground game. I mean, we're not just talking jiu-jitsu, but I think Verna, Carla, Tatiana, they all have good ground games. Great ground games. Yeah, careless mistake. Yeah, nobody gonna keep Joanna down like that. I mean, the coaches at ATT said Jillian went live with Joanna a lot when she was there, and she held JJ down. Don't shoot the mess. Oh, really? Y'all see that right there? He said Jillian Robertson went live with Joanna, and she held JJ down. Huh. I'll leave that right there for a second. Getting beat by the likes of Liz Tracy. Yeah, Liz Tracy, she did it. And then like, Miranda Maverick, she handled Jillian Robertson's skills too. I doubt Mackenzie will be able to take Joanna down. Her wrestling isn't there yet. You're right. Yeah, her wrestling's not really there. Ground game's impressive, but it's how are you able to get them there? I gotta do research. I gotta do some research, Jill. I mean, you would know that, BJ, because you done the interviews with her. So we'll see. I mean, I'm gonna see if I can find that info anywhere. Whose top game is better? Oh man, whose top game is better, Valentina or Jillian's? I'm BJ. When it comes to top game, man, I'm gonna have to say Valentina, man. I know you ain't gonna like that, but I'm gonna have to go with Valentina. Valentina's top game is better for the level of competition she's been on. I'm gonna have to go with. I'm gonna just have to go with Valentina off of what she could do in her top position against recent fights now with Jessica Andrade, what she was able to do in top position against Jennifer Maia, Caitlin Chikagan. Yeah, I think her top game is. I think it's effective, man. I think it's effective because she's used her top game on top level competition. When Jillian Robertson, she tightens that striking up and she puts all that together, then we'll start talking, man. Then we'll start talking. Like if you put Valentina, let's say, look, if you put Valentina, let's put Valentina in the octagon with let's see, somebody in the flyweight division. Okay, Valentina in there with Lauren Murphy. We're gonna put Valentina in there with Lauren Murphy in that position. We're just gonna start them off in that position. Or let's say Valentina gets the top position, takedown in the top position. I think she'll be much more effective Then when we put Jillian Robertson in there with Lauren Murphy, and Lauren Murphy gets taken down, Jillian Roberts gets the top position. No, I'm going to say Valentina does better with on top position over Lauren Murphy than Jillian Robertson, because Lauren Murphy's big and she's very physical. And I think that is Jillian Robertson's weakness when it comes to trying to get top position. Big, strong fighters. See, Valentina, when she goes in there against Lauren Murphy, she's going to go in there strong as hell. She's going to go in there stronger than Lauren Murphy. Maybe by, a little bit. Yeah, she will. She'll be going there stronger. She'll be the stronger fighter. Let me just go ahead and give her all due credit there. She'll be the stronger fighter in there. Lauren Murphy will get held down by Valentina and dominate more so than Jillian Robertson would. Because, top position from Valentina is like head control, like when she's standing up, and then she's like cracking them elbows, like sneaky elbows. And she's like, she's taking away one, your only mean offense while she's working your body, Email that Jillian holding down JJ footage or be quiet. Damn. Yeah, I want to hear it from somebody in that gym, or I want to see that, man. That's interesting. J-Ball said the difference between training and competition urgency is totally different. So I'm sure JJ wasn't trying to immediately scramble back up. Right. Like, she's probably down and she's on her back getting comfortable. I know what you mean. Like, when you're training for different angles and different positions. Like, you're not training to get back up, like to win a round. You're just training to get to work and get the feel of being on your back. Like, Jillian's probably holding her down. Like, they probably start in the position. When they do the drill, Joanna lays back and, Jillian gets on top, and then they start the bell or they start the timer, and they're just kind of working through it. Like, this is the position you get in to reverse that, or this is the position you get in to fight off of your back. I'm sure, I'm sure it wasn't like a competition thing. Like, it was like, oh, I got to win this round. Like, yeah, mind frame was probably different. Like, JJ was probably getting comfortable in there too. Again, I ain't taking it away, but it is different. It's different times. Yeah, for our level competition, I think that's really big, man. Oh, they were sparring. You still sparring, man. Like, sparring is still the same. Like, boxing sparring, like, you're not going 100%. Like, guys post footage of sparring and they go, oh, this guy got knocked out in sparring. He got knocked out by an amateur. He got knocked out by a prospect. But that's because the champ wasn't going as hard. Like, he's trying to learn something, but you try to sneak hit him. You know what I mean? Like, that happens in boxing all the time. Like, you see these guys post sparring footage each other and go, I knocked him out sparring. But would you be able to do that in the actual fight? Like, the sparring that they were doing, was it just grappling? Was it just ground sparring? Like, or was she supposed to be going all out, trying to, reverse was she trying to reverse Jillian and actually try to, score and knock, hit her? So yeah, I can't really go off of full on sparring, because even like I said, boxers, that happens in boxing, they're always like, oh man, I beat this dude up in sparring, or I knocked him out in sparring. But you couldn't do that in a real fight, because y'all are working on things. Sparring, you working on defense, you working on offense, you working on fighting off the back foot. Flow is where Flow is the real elite BJJ competitors compete, etc. Jillian has competed in those and lost, whereas Jillian has won most of those. Yeah, I like watching those, man. Jillian does pretty good in those. She does well. Miranda Maverick, she does well in those. Mackenzie Dern is like amazing in those things, though. That's her home, man. There's a reason why we see people win in sparring, but when they actually go in the cage, the person lost. The sparring wins a lot of the time. Joanna mopped all those girls. Okay, Joanna mopped all those girls at ATT and live sparring. Jillian's style made her the only girl that could last 3 rounds of sparring with Joanna. I could see her lasting, yeah. Like, again, if you're talking about sparring, like Joanna's probably, Joanna's not a big hitter like that. And yeah, Jillian's tough. Like Jillian's tough and she's scrappy. She is that. Like she is that type of fighter. She doesn't really have much, her stand-up game needs improvement, but she still, got hands, not hands, but she's got heart. Sorry. But I just think, when you're talking sparring, it's a different thing. Like Joanna probably wants to go ahead and get the feeling of being held down in sparring. So she knows that, look, we ain't gonna do this in the actual fight. Because in a real fight, man, I'm just picturing like jab, pop, jab from Joanna, eating the leg away with the kicks and great takedown defense, all of that. Joanna at 125 would be good, man. Like Joanna at 125 would be interesting, man. Sparring is different from a real fight. Yeah, Joanna versus Jillian in the cage would be totally different. In a real fight, Joanna wouldn't be allowed to get in those positions. When sparring and training, you're supposed to allow yourself to be compromised. Yeah, in compromised positions. Right. Yeah, I think that's the one thing that holds me back, like I said, from saying that, Jillian Robertson, her top game is like out of this world, is because, it hasn't got her to the top 10 yet. Once she starts winning and dominating fighters with that position and, just getting her way, then it'll start to be like a running for that. But right now, you got to say Valentina's top game is much better. And she has better execution of it too. Maybe Jillian knows some certain things that Valentina doesn't know, but Valentina knows how to take what she knows and do better with it. BJ said, I want to see Mackenzie Dern go to a hard wrestling camp. Yeah. If she could start blasting double ADLs. Yeah. When she starts getting her wrestling right, when she gets on that wrestling tip, that's unreal. Yeah. Because she's strong. She's strong right now. That's why I just don't want to see her jump in there with the top 4 yet. Like, there's work to be done, man. Like, a fight with Tisha, who somebody disagree with me on this. I can't remember right now, but I like the Mackenzie Dern versus Tisha Torres fight because that's going to show her wrestling. Like, either she needs to spar with Mackenzie Dern needs to spar with Tisha Torres with wrestling, or she needs to fight her, because that's going to kind of wake her up. Like, yo, this is what I got to do to get fighters to the ground. That would be a real test for her. Right. Yeah. Yeah. Like Jillian does have a wide array of tools because she stays on the ground. She likes to fight on the ground. She has a wide array of tools than Valentina. But yeah, Valentina executes what she has so much better. Right. Yeah, that's exactly. Yeah, that's exactly what I was saying. Yep. Yep. Yeah, Mackenzie versus Tisha would be perfect if I like to fight. I like that fight. Cause somebody was actually, who said that? They were downplaying Tisha Torres. I'm like, nah, Tisha Torres, Tisha's a tough fighter. Like, y'all gotta appreciate her a little bit more. Like, I know she lost 4 in a row, but she was in there. She was game, man. She was in the fight the whole time, man. She was tough. She's durable. She's never been stopped or submitted. that's a fight where Mackenzie Dern, if she could pull off a submission win over Tisha Torres, that would say a lot. I don't care what you say about her being number 10, but Tisha Torres getting submitted by Mackenzie Dern would say a lot, because that means she actually got her to the ground, kept her there, and was able to pull off a submission win. Oh, J Ball, yeah, yeah. She was competitive, man. Jessica Andrade, competitive. Jean, competitive. Rose, I think she beat Rose Namajunas both times. I might actually go back and watch her losses to these guys tonight. I might go back and watch all four of these fights. Uh-oh. BJ said Valentina don't want Tatiana problems. Look, man, Tatiana, man, she come back at 115. Man, like that would be something. I just want to see her get back in action. I just want her well, man. She get back in action, and the hands get developed. She'll be something, man. Oh, hang on, I was on my phone here. Uh, Stamina said Tisha is legit. None of these girls have never effed her face up. No, never dominated, never stopped her. That can't be. Yeah, yeah. She's legit, man. I think the only thing that been holding her back was just her size. You know what I mean? Like her size and her reach disadvantage. When you go in there with much better, taller fighters, then they're gonna win. Like Marina Rodriguez, Joanna. Whenever you deal with those longer fighters or stronger fighters, they'll be able to keep you back. There's just there's no way around it. If they're that good. J Ball said Tatiana's my fourth favorite female fighter, but let's not forget what you did to Tatiana in round 3. I think that she started. That was a fight where she wasn't really 100%. Tatiana, I think, was she had hurt her neck in sparring, and I think that kind of played in the fact how she fought, because I think she said her head hit the wall in sparring, and she heard like a crack, like a cracking sound or something. And I think that affected her performance against Nina. Yeah. Yeah, because she said like they were sparring and wrestling, and like her head hit the wall, and she heard like a cracking sound, and she was like, "Oh, that ain't good." And yeah, it came into play in the fight later on down the road. So yeah, she did get clipped in there, but I think it was just what she was feeling. Yeah, man. But yeah, Mackenzie Dern, she's on her way to something, man. I just don't want to see her rushed. Like, I just don't want to see them try to put her in there and get overhyped with her and think that, oh, she's the next champion. Because I know that her ground game, that would be interesting with Rose. Like when they get to the ground. Now the hand game, not so much, because I know Rose has that hands down. But if Mackenzie's able to get in there, that would be interesting, man. What is Mackenzie Dern, like a super black belt? I know she is a black belt, but like she's just very fluid on the ground. It's really fun to watch her and how fluid she is. Like when she gets these moves on you, when she took out Gabby Garcia. Is that her name? Yeah, Gabby Garcia, the big girl. it's weird too, just watching how boxing is, boxing is so alien to her. But like when you put her, when you watch her on the ground, jujitsu is just like a home for her. But trying to get the hands down, it's like, it's just, I know it's two different worlds, but watching Mackenzie try to get that down, it's just like, wow. Like you would think that sometimes you think when a martial artist is a master in one thing, they'll be able to get the other, but nah, man, it's tough, man. Yeah, J Ball. I again, I look, I'm a Suarez fan, but right now, off of momentum, I lean more towards Mackenzie a little bit. Just because she's doing, so much better with her hands, and like her ground game is going to be a big factor whenever Dern tries to, take this thing, when Suarez tries to take this thing to the ground. Like 2019, I'm Suarez all day, I'm Suarez all day, but right now, off of what's, the inactivity, that would be a dangerous fight for Suarez to come back against. Shoot, I'm waiting on this Kanako Murata Verna Generoba fight, y'all. Shoot. Yeah, that's gonna be a good fight. Kanako Murata versus Verna Generoba. I think that's next month. Let me make sure. Yeah, June 19th. Yeah, that's gonna be a good fight. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Robot chicken. Oh boy, come on now. I don't know all of that. I mean, I don't agree with Rose said, but I don't know about all that. I don't know. When I say I don't know about that, I mean I don't know. I don't know. I don't like what she said, but I don't know, man. J Ball, I'm taking Mickey. Okay, I read that. BJ said, but Dern is nowhere near as strong as Tatiana. She's not, but I think her hands are a little bit better right now. Like, I don't think she's as strong, but I think Dern has a good place right now where she's sitting with her striking and her movement. Yeah, Tatiana's stronger than Dern, but when it comes down to who's actually making moves right now and evolving, question is, what if Suarez can power her way out of Dern's submissions? It's hard to power you. It depends on what submission it is. Because some aren't going to be easy. I know that Dern knows every little position on how to get certain fighters where she needs them to really render them helpless, and get that submission. Whether it be an arm or a heel hook or whatever. Robot Chicken said he got Murata. I like Murata. I like Kanaka Murata. I'm kind of leaning towards her too. That's going to be a good fight, though. I'm definitely looking forward to it. BJ said I want to see Tatiana debut at. Yeah, that I said that too. That's probably the perfect fight for Tatiana to come back at 125. Cynthia Calvillo. Calvillo's coming out with the injury. She's coming off an injury right now, and that would be a good fight for her. I think while everybody else is booked, praying that Tatiana Suarez can come back. Yeah, you can't get sloppy in the guard with Dern. Like you get on top in the guard, like Dern's mind is already computing every little thing you're doing, man. Suarez eats Calvillo. Dang, y'all said she can walk her like a dog. Tatiana Suarez and Taylor Santos would be intrigued. Yeah, yeah, I think that's intriguing too. Yeah, because of the style matchup in the physicality of these fighters. That would be interesting, man. Dern is a female Damian Maya, huh? Stammer said Dern has better hands than Maya. Oh, oh boy. Hold up. J Boss, I'm a wrestler and I actively compete in jiu-jitsu from time to time. When you're going against super high level BJJ specialists, there's no powering out. I didn't think so. No, 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 no. Yeah, yeah, you're right. You're right. That's what I was like kind of thinking like there's no powering out of submissions. That's why like it's just so much it's it's so much fun to watch because like Mackenzie Dern, no matter how big or strong a fighter is, like when you get put into a certain position, your arm is not going to bend that way or your leg is not going to bend that way. So what do you have to do? You have to tap. You have to tap. Like it don't matter. Like there's no powering out unless you want to like break your elbow or your arm. Yeah, I'm 100% with you on that. That's why I was saying like you're not really gonna power out of Mackenzie Dern like Mackenzie Dern's triangle, like a triangle. That's what I was saying about Kanako Murata. Like Kanako Murata is a very good wrestler, but if she gets sloppy in the guard, if she gets sloppy in the guard of Verna Jandaroba will submit her. Verna Jandaroba is a jiu-jitsu practitioner, and that's her ground. That could be on the back is her position. Like if Kanako is to get in there, and yeah, she's physically strong, you're not gonna power out of a triangle or like a arm bar, that she puts you in at all. That's why I say, yeah, yeah, you can't. Hey, you tell him, BJ, look, I gotta watch more Damian Maya fights. I mean, you would know. I'm definitely not gonna argue with you on that. David Maya, he more experienced. He been around for a minute, so oh, they knew he was your favorite fighter. That's probably why. That's why he called you out. J. Law said, y'all remember when Maya was dodging burns on the ground? BJJ specialists have a way of controlling explosives. Yeah. Ben Askren's hands. Oh wow, y'all putting them hands down. Yeah, man. Man. But yeah, y'all. Let me see here. Yeah, we got some good fights on the horizon, man. We got some good stuff coming up. We got Invicta coming. We got Invicta coming up May 21st. That's going down. Um, I'm curious as to. I'm curious, man. I'm really curious about who's gonna get this rematch with Rose. Will it be Joanna or will it be Wei Lee? I got a who's next coming for Rose Namajunas. I'm gonna do that who's next video. Who I think should be next for Rose. Um, Mackenzie Dern, man. Who are they gonna match her up with? Because I know there's a fight announcement coming soon, man. I know she's gonna get a fight sometime this summer. Yeah. All right, Robert Henry, go eat your food, man. I need to find something to eat tonight, man. It's like 9:30. Yeah, messing with y'all for like 2 hours on here. I mean, it's my day off, so I ain't got nothing going on. So I ain't got nothing going on right now. It's my day off. So yeah, I'll be here for a few minutes till I feel like getting off. Yeah, Mackenzie, man. Yeah, she's got a, you know, she's still got some things to do, but I think she's in a good place right now, man. Like you don't see that many fighters just take it into their hands, like and just start making these improvements like this, like improvements. You know, Kamaru Usman, man, his jab is just like one of the best. Yeah, Stammer says spending time is the best use of your free time. Pretty much. I mean, I could be reading right now or something, but I mean, I'm sitting down, so that's the best thing I could do now. What else, man? Like, I give y'all, I give y'all like another I give you another 15 minutes. What else is on the? What else is on like the calendar for WMMA? What else we got to talk about for another 15 minutes? Uh, I am going to talk about one-dimensional fighters. I got a video I'm doing on that, just so y'all know. I got a video talking about, why fighters they just can't stay in one place now, man. Like they just can't get comfortable in one thing. I want to talk about that in the video. What I say one time, being one dimensional leads to an early grave for fighters. I think that a lot of these fighters out here, um, that come into the game and don't stay with the evolution of it, they get chewed up and they get eaten. They get spit out. Uh, I'm gonna go through some examples too, man, because I might pull out some examples of some MMA, some men fighters too, but I might stick with the women a little bit here because I just want to focus on some of the women that continue to fall and don't make any changes, or some of the women that messed up and then they just don't want to come back and they get so thrown off mentally. Like perfect example, that keeps coming. Ronda Rousey, perfect example, of the way she didn't evolve as a fighter. I mean, she was just so dominant with her one thing, with her one discipline. But the day it came to show something else, it wasn't there. And we still see a lot of fighters like that now. We got a lot of fighters like that. So I think that it's going to be it's just going to be hell for. Like I said, I'm not going to call too many names right now, but I'll do my examples when I do the video. But it's just something they all got to do, man. Every fighter has to be well rounded, and Mackenzie Dern's growth is in the right direction of being where she needs to be. It's taking her in the right direction. Saying, okay, I know I'm great on the ground, but how do I get these fighters to the ground? Like I can't depend on an arm bar all day. I can't depend on hoping that this fighter trips and falls and I take them, makes my job easier. You can't depend on that. You got to be able to take them to the ground. You got to be able to jab them. You got to be able to box, So the fighters that you see that are unranked right now, or the ones that are getting cut, or the ones that are, stuck in one gear. They might not like to hear that, but yeah, you one dimensional. Hey, you think Valentina's one dimensional? No. even to a certain extent, Jessica Andrade isn't one dimensional. You know, she's there for she's there. She's where she is because, you know, of what I gotta put it with Jessica Andrade. Jessica Andrade isn't the best technical fighter, but what she does got her there. But even then, I wouldn't recommend a lot of fighters to fight like Jessica Andrade. Yeah, Jessica Andrade, we may say she's two-dimensional at most. I'll say that maybe two and a half, two and a half or three-dimensional. No, that's being nice. I'll say two and a half. Jessica Andrade's about like two and a half, and the one thing that really saves her is the power. It's that freakish power. You know what I mean? Like if you go to boxing, one of my favorite fighters of all time, Roy Jones Jr. You know, he had the greatest reflexes and the greatest speed of all time. But the day that speed was gone, it made him more of a sitting duck, if you will. You know, whenever he slowed down, he was a bit more easy to hit, and you kind of have to come out of that shell with new things. You got to come out of that belt. Sorry, you got to come out of that belt in that toolbox and start coming up with new ways to win. You know, I feel like Jessica Andrade, being a great athlete, she's kind of that same type of fighter. That's why I say I hate to call her one-dimensional, but she kind of is, because when she steps in there with the multi-dimensional fighter, she kind of falls. You know, she does fall. Like, she depends on the strength so much. Like, she just recently started getting more and more technical, you know, but it's her strength that saves her through a lot of these fights, even with the fighters that she, you know, just powered through and got wins over. So, yeah, I'm just kind of going through a little bit, y'all. Like I said, I'm gonna do a video talking about it. Actually, just structure it out more. I'm just kind of going through some of these fighters in my head right now. Like, who else do y'all like think is one dimensional? Like, name me a one dimensional fighter, somebody that you see that needs to work, and if they don't work, they would never become champion. All right, BJ, that's a good example. That's a good example right there. Yeah, Carolina. Yeah. And the thing, sorry, you know, the thing with her, the sad part is like that time might have passed for her to evolve because, you know, the damage she suffered. You know what I mean? Like, yeah. Like, she did well for a while. Like, she was doing okay, but like when it came down to that grit, boy, like whenever fighters like Claudia Gadelha was able to submit her, and when she couldn't beat Jessica Andrade, she had a style I think could have come into play and helped her beat Jessica Andrade, but no, man, like Jessica Andrade knocked her out because she couldn't get into another gear. Yeah, that's a good example. Derek Lewis, boy, he did not move. Like, that dude be standing, boy. He got the power, boy, but he be chilling. He been working on his cardio lately. I think he trying to step again, but he even said himself like he ain't trying to throw no leg kicks anymore after seeing Chris Weidman. Derek Lewis, man. Jillian, okay. Yeah. Jillian Robertson, like I said, she's very, very good at what she does, but it's time to, you know, step out of that box and become very, very good at something else and put it together. You know what I mean? Like, if you don't, you will continue to dig yourself a grave. Like, she's falling. Like, she's in that she's out of the top 10 right now, top 15. Yeah, man, I'm just saying, man, being one dimensional leads to an early grave, man. She's made a lot of improvements, but Angela's still weak on the ground when going against that high tier fighter. Also, Jillian. Okay. Yeah, Angela Hill. Yeah, I can see that. Angela Hill, I can see that because Angela Hill still can't close the show, which she needs to because she's never going to win on the cards. She's got to really, really sit down on her punches. She's got to develop more of a straight right hand instead of the loopy right hand. And, just little things where she needs to become more and more comfortable on the ground. Like, I can still see Angela Hill being a fighter. I know what type of fighter she's going to be when she get in there, and it's either going to be enough to win or it's not. I think it'll be enough. It may be enough for Amanda Ebos though. Marina Rodriguez, she's 1-2, man. Gotta do something. Jillian putting in work. Yeah, Jillian been putting, she putting in work. I gotta make, I want to start seeing it in the octagon. He said most heavyweights are one dimensional. I think, there's special ones, there's definitely lots, the ones that break one dimensional. Yeah, that's why you call them special. But yeah, I know what you mean. Like, it's like in boxing, like there's some good heavyweights, and there's boxing. I'll say there are more multi-dimensional heavyweights, but yeah, heavyweight MMA, can't say they're all one dimensional. The special ones aren't. Put it that way. I mean, there are those ones that like you're saying, they just throw shots and then they get tired because some of them are just like lumbering and they're wasting energy. BJ said Antonina. Antonina. Okay. Yeah. Maria Rodriguez is one dimensional. Like, Joanna is one dimensional. She's just very good at keeping it one dimensional. Like, think about Joanna is her ability to say, I want to do what I want to do, but I have to make sure everything else is airtight to continue to do what I want to do. But you see, it still came up short whenever she stepped out of the box against fighters like Rose and Valentina. I think it's safe to say Joanna, to a certain extent, is one dimensional, right? I mean, yeah. Like Andrade and Joanna, I think we could say they are. I'm not saying one-dimensional fighters are boring. I'm not saying one-dimensional fighters are bad necessarily. But when you want to like evolve and you want to grow as a champion, or you want to be the best of the best, then I think you have to break being one-dimensional. Yeah, I'm not saying that one-dimensional. Yeah, like my favorite fighters are one-dimensional. A lot of favorite fighters are one dimensional. I just feel like to get out of there, to get out of the box, man, and like be the long time champion, you gotta have more than one. You gotta have more than one tool, man. Yeah, Joanna is one dimensional. Like, good point fighter, very, 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 very good striker. But when it came down to an actual boxer with footwork and a beautiful jab and timing and rows, she was able to outworking the rematch, and she was able to knock her out. What else? Valentina, the Valentina fight. Yeah, the Valentina fight. Curtis Melinder. Yeah. Alima McFarlane. Can I call her one dimensional? I would. Okay, I won't call her one dimensional. No, I won't call Alima McFarlane one dimensional because she will strike and she does wrestle and she can she can grapple. She does have jujitsu. You know, she does have a ground game. Yeah. I think what's the best way to put it? Like she's not one dimensional. No, Eliminating Fall is not one dimensional, but I don't think she's like one of the best flyweights. Like when you put her like against like the greatest flyweights, like I don't think she's like that great of fly. I think she needs a lot of work still. Like I'm glad that she's willing to step out of her comfort zone. Yeah. Like that's the good thing about Alima Lay McFarland. She can grow as a fighter because she has more than one dimension. But yeah, she's not one dimensional. So you can tell Joanna is one dimensional because her takedown defense is excellent. Like, you know, her takedown defense and her strength is excellent because, you know, she doesn't want to grapple with you. You know, she don't want to take it to the ground. So she scrambles and she gets her behind back up, you know. So yeah, she's a perfect example of being one dimensional, but being committed to that, um, it pays a price. It pays a big price. Like you got to make sure everything else is 100. And you got to be prepared to lose when somebody else is better. So that's another thing I'll talk about one dimension. You know, you be a one dimensional fighter, you want to stay that way. You might do all right for a while, but yeah, you better be prepared to lose. Be prepared to lose. Be prepared to be beaten one day. It's gonna come. Connor's one dimensional. Yeah, Connor's a very good striker, good boxer, um, very good at it, and you know, gets him wins because he gets in your head. You know, he knows how to get in your head, but when you start ripping him and taking him to the ground, then boom. Mark said with JJ, you can't consider her being all the way one dimensional due to having that other factor of being able to cancel our opponent's ground game. I think I think that is part of her being one dimensional because you have to make sure that takedown defense, like is that takedown defense, that should be like a given for all fighters. You know, you don't want to get taken down. So her main choice of offense is striking. So I think she is one dimensional in that factor. Like to make sure she can commit to just fighting one way, she makes sure she's making sure that her takedown defense is on point. That's why I say she's one dimensional because once you take her to the ground and you're a good ground fighter, you can dominate her. Once you take her striking away or you're a better striker, you can take away her weapon. You're taking away her weapon. Like once you take away her striking, is she really going to grapple with you? That's the question. Is she really going to want to go to the ground with you? Like I said, being one dimensional, that's like I said, it's not saying it's a bad fighter. You're not a bad fighter. GDR is one dimensional. Don't let that Pena up. Well, yeah, yeah. I think that Pena just got reckless in that fight. Pena just got reckless that night, and she got set up. She set herself up. You know, she got guillotined, man, because she she thought and she knew she was thinking what we were thinking, J Ball. You know, she was thinking that Pena Pena was thinking that oh GDR ain't gonna submit me a day. She ain't gonna submit me a minute, 1 minute of this fight, 1 minute of this round, a day in her life, she ain't gonna submit me. See, with that mind state, because she was thinking what we were thinking, she just ran in there reckless and thought I'm gonna take her down, and she got submitted. Yeah, being one dimensional technically means that your skill sets are limited. And I think your Joanna's skill sets are limited. Like, again, not bashing her anyway. Yeah, like it does. Yeah, they are limited. Like besides her stand-up game, where do you see her dominating? How do you see her dominating the fight without her stand-up? I just think that her takedown defense is part of her stand-up. If you want to be a stand-up fighter for 5 rounds, you got to have that takedown defense. They're kind of hand in hand. So with that, once you take away that one weapon she has, then she's limited. Again, Rose, she took away that work rate by making her weight. Joanna never thought of taking it to the ground. Joanna never thought about, trying to out grapple or out wrestle her. She never thought of going for a submission win. She was rendered helpless almost. So when Rose started in and out, popping that jab, got that timing down, Joanna had nothing really. Like, she had the stand up, she had the back and forth in the rematch because Rose slowed down and she started landing good leg kicks, but it was still the leg kicks and it was still the punches that were getting her rounds, which again leads to her being one-dimensional. Very good one-dimensional fighter though. I gotta give her that though, man. Like, she's not gonna go to the ground with you though. Joanna doesn't have power. Rose and Zhang aren't exactly better strikers. I agree with the Zhang, but I disagree with you on the Rose. I think that Rose is a better striker. I just think Joanna's a much stronger fighter. Don't mix up the two, BJ. Don't mix up the two. Joanna's durable and she's strong, but Rose is the better striker. Power ain't got nothing to do with it. Rose don't even have great power. Rose has great accuracy. Rose is precise. Rose is a better striker than Joanna. That's why when to beat the best, you got to beat the best at their game. Rose beat her at that game. Zhang, not necessarily. They went back and forth. It was a mixture of, a lot of things in that fight. But Rose is a better striker than Joanna. Did you see how that footwork was throwing her off? You see how that jab was touching her? You see how she set her up and knocked her out in the first fight? I mean, nah, man. Nah, BJ, Rose is a better striker. She's a better striker. Joanna stronger. Yeah, she can stay on her feet longer. The way the footwork, the way the footwork threw Joanna off and rendered her helpless, man. Nah, man. I can figure Joanna out easier than I can figure Rose out. Let me put it that way. When Rose is 100%, if she's gonna dance with you, she's a little bit harder to figure out. But Joanna, she's a little bit easier to figure out. For me, that is. That's why I say like Rose is a better striker. I'm more so impressed with her footwork and her offense when she's 100%. Those are two different fighters there. Aspenlad and Yan, we ain't even gonna put them two in the same category. Like, neither one of them, we ain't even gonna put them in the same category. Joanna was putting some hands on Rose in the 4th round in the middle of the 5th. Yeah, she was. She was. When she slowed down, when she gave her that target to hit, but when she was on her feet and moving, the better striker still is Rose. Because Rose won the fight. Yeah, Joanna definitely had some moments in the fight. Not enough to win the fight. Yeah, definitely though, man. Like, I give a lot of credit to Joanna for taking it to the top with her style, though. I definitely give her a lot of credit with that. Same with Ronda Rousey. She was able to do it. She took it to the top. She took it to the top with her one-dimensional style. You know what I mean? Like some well-rounded fighters can't even do that. But it's all in what's gonna come, the aftermath. What's coming. What's coming after that. Like once you win the belt, like who's out there studying you? Who's studying you? Who's gonna figure you out? See, Rose was studying Joanna. That's why I say she's a better striker, because she said, okay, I'm gonna one up her. I'm gonna be better with my feet. I'm gonna be better with my timing. Yeah, you can put hands on me in a round or two, but who's gonna be the better all around fighter? Who's gonna be the all around better striker in there and get this work? Yeah, that's what I was saying too. Stamina. Yeah, JJ started landing more because she started touching that lead leg, and Rose started to slow down and started kind of giving her a target. But if Rose had never left her rhythm, yeah, she would have just said, okay, I'm gonna make this. I won't. I don't have a target here. Joanna really had trouble whenever she had to find Rose. Like Joanna was having trouble finding Rose. She was having trouble finding her when she was on the foot, moving, in and out at those diagonal, different angles. But like when she started getting that lead leg and Rose started fighting more in the pocket, she was like, "This is what I like." Joanna likes when people stand in front of her. She likes whenever you're right there. That's when her target's easy to hit. For anybody, of course, but that's what she can get. That's what she gets. So yeah, Joanna has a good clinch game. Yeah, she definitely has a good tie clinch game. Yeah. All right, 3 more minutes here. I gave y'all an extra 15. We went half hour, so I'm gonna go into the three hour mark here. 3 more minutes, I'll be out of here, y'all. I said, yeah, Rose didn't win the second fight with power, nor the first, to be honest. Timing, yeah, to me it was just timing. She just won it with timing and accuracy, man. Like, because if she had power, she would have knocked her out again, honestly, in the second fight. But it wasn't really power. It was really just precision. But yeah, man. Good conversations tonight, man. Always good conversations with y'all, man, in the chat. Yeah, we had, like I said, good weekend of fights and everything that went down this weekend. I hated what happened to Randa Marcos, but we'll see what happens and moving on in the future, man. Y'all, yeah, I'm looking forward to. Damn, what fight about? Yeah, I'm looking forward to this PFL. Sorry, I'm looking forward to the PFL going down Thursday. We'll talk tomorrow, though. We'll talk more about that tomorrow, y'all. Um, I don't know. I may maybe do an open link tomorrow if somebody want to come in. Anybody want to come in and talk? Talk about what we talk about today, or what we talk about tomorrow. So, oh man, yeah, man. What were you saying again, BJ? Hold on. You said I'm saying Aspen beat Yana with strikes, but that doesn't mean she's a better striker. Rose beat Joanna with strikes, but I don't think that means she's a better striker. She just had more power. Oh, that's what you said. No, yeah, no, I don't agree with that. I think Rose beat Joanna with strikes because she was a better striker. She was using timing and she was using the jab, and she just had tricky footwork for Joanna, so she beat Joanna. It wasn't like she just beat her with accumulation of strikes where she was just walking her down using strike. Nah, she was setting up beautiful strikes in there. So that's why Rose is the better striker. She was out striking her. outworking her and just all around better. And it wasn't really power, it was just accuracy. You know, that's why I say their situation, Yana and Aspen, to me, that was just a little bit different. I feel that was a little bit different there. Like, yeah, Aspen beat Yana with strikes. Yeah, because Aspen was just throwing hands. She caught her with the left hook. I will say that. But, Rose caught Joanna with the left hook because she set that beauty up. She set that beauty up. You know what I mean? That's why you got to say she is a better striker than Joanna once you study that film again, man. Same way she set up Wei Lee this past Saturday. She used the beautiful uh, left kick to the head. Set up with the feint. When you use feints, you're not just beating them with striking. You're beating them with the overall stand up game. You know what I mean? Yeah, man. So yeah, I'm up out of here now, man. Been on here a long time with y'all. Shout out to everybody that's stuck on through into the chat. We had good conversation. Like I said, shout out to everybody, always coming through. I'll be back on tomorrow about the same time. And we'll talk again, man. We'll talk about some other stuff going on. Like I said, tomorrow I'll probably do an open link if anybody want to come on and we'll talk some fights. We'll do that. But yeah, man. Let me go grill, man. It's like 10 o'clock. Damn. Over here fooling with y'all. Hang on here. Let me close this thing out real quick. Over here messing with y'all. Okay. All right, yeah. Yeah. All right, man. There we go. All right, y'all, man. So be back on tomorrow. And yeah, like always, I am Combo Breaker 99. Make sure y'all subscribe. I am out. Peace.